Oh, go on then. This was a live requested by my friend, my very good friend and wifey Janan. So that's why I'm doing this live. This one's for you. This is what you wanted to talk about as well, right? You wanted to talk about the French alliance, the French friendship, whatever you want to call it. Is it a benefit or a risk? I think that's a pretty interesting topic. That's a good one, Jan. You're welcome. Yeah, and I just got off my other TikTok live, which was fun. It was fun for me. I don't think it was fun for everyone, but definitely I enjoyed it, so that's all good. Let's get into this one. Laza? I've not heard of you before, Laza. What's up? Era re,
Hola,
tá
Lazar.
bem?
Bagus, bro. Me accusi, re?
Go, ne, bemo.
Elare.
Yeah.
Non me la mi suono, non me la cambio metti bei.
I can't hear you very well. You got a lot of background noise.
Ja, io sto drome mi afto.
I can't hear you. And I go re.
Ciao.
And I go dibo de re, my friend. Okay. Come back. Come back later. I can't hear you. Gamo do shistomo mesa. Gamo don gabi lemu gamo. Come back later, or come back later when you've got less noise in the background. Can't hear shit. Where was I? Jan, you want to come up and talk about this? Do you think there's a benefit? I think there might be. Let me bring you up. Hold on. Go on then. Since you love doing TikTok lives about politics, and you love talking about politics, literally. Talk about politics all day long.
Yeah, I like cussing Greeks.
Yeah, I noticed that. You like
Greeks
cussing
and
Greeks.
Greeks.
I need to put my camera on for a second. Hold on. Oh, can you see me? Oh, now look at that hairstyle, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, you look cool.
Is this an 18 plus?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Can you still see the background? All right, cool. Go on, you tell me then.
So, what's the question? Cyprus.
What's the question?
What?
This is your question. This is the question you wanted to ask. What do you mean, what's the question?
Okay. Well, you tell me as a Greek Cypriot why you want alliance with France. What's the point?
France is a strong army, no?
And?
France is a strong country. You know?
Oh, you guys are so weak.
Oh no, here we go. Be careful what I say because you're gonna cuss me down. You're gonna cuss me down as a Turkey if I say anything about
France is big, India big, Russia big, everyone big brothers, help me.
Listen, my friend, we need to be friends with the big countries because we're so small, you know?
Yeah.
We need to have friends. We're a small country. If we don't have any friends, we're in trouble. I think it's definitely to do with trying to feel secure, I think, let's call it.
Why don't you have faith in yourself?
Well, what kind of faith can we have? You know, think about us. We're 1 million people population. What other countries in the world?
Sort your problem out instead of looking for someone to defend you.
And even if we sort our problem out, we're 1 million people population on an island.
But the only threat to you is Turkey. Why do you not just try to sort the problem out?
Not just Turkey. It could be anyone. Today it might be Turkey. Tomorrow it might be Israel. How are we going to defend ourselves? If you sort your problem out with Turkey and you're friends with Turkey, then you don't need to worry about any other country threatening you. But you're not going to look after us, yeah? Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, you looked after us well. We got your back. Yeah, you looked after us well in 1974, didn't you? You asked for it. No, I don't even want to get into that. I think if you really think about Cyprus for a second, you'll realize how small and insignificant we are. I'm trying to think right now, what other country's got a population of 1 million? I'm struggling. Do you know any? Maybe anyone in the chat? Shaheen? Yesterday, today, and tomorrow it will be the Zionists, yeah. Most likely it will be, this is what I was trying to say to Jan. Like, we're trying to make friendships because we are quite weak. And we do need more friends because at the moment, especially where we are geographically, it's like being in the middle of a gunfight, you know. Well, there are like 3-4 big countries are the in the world right now, especially in the Middle East, are the big bosses. That's including Turkey, Russia, America, and China. Yeah, let me just take my camera off 1 sec. I think that should be enough time. that's not it. There you go. Yeah. Yes. It
Yes.
is Russia or China, but
Russia, China, America, and Turkey.
oh yeah, you had to
And-
put Turkey in there, didn't you?
Yes, of course. The question is, you're not friends. You're not making an alliance with any of them. Those are the
Yeah.
countries that will protect you. I understand America. They probably don't want to get involved because of the strong relation they have with Turkey. Russia, I don't know, because again, you have strong relationship with EU and there's conflict between Russia and Ukraine right now. So that is probably another reason. China, you can make alliance. If you're smart, you can. Unless they don't want to make that alliance, but you need to work on it.
Yeah, but do you want us to put all our eggs in one basket? Like, I get Turkey may or may not protect us, but I don't know. I think Cyprus, like I said, is so small and insignificant. If we don't have friendships like France to fall back on, then
How is
we
France
are
gonna
really
help
out
them?
in the wild. We're out in the wild, Jan. Come on. Imagine such a small country.
You
like
got
Cyprus.
UK. Like, UK should
don't
be your
have
best
UK, do we?
alliance.
We don't have UK though, do we?
Yes, you do. You have their base, and they are also in the constitution part of Cyprus.
They're a guarantor, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean anything. Like,
Why
what's
not?
going to happen? I mean, look what happened recently. They protected themselves. They didn't protect us.
You got your big brother Greece holding your hand when you're crying.
I knew you were going to cuss Greeks tonight. And this is why you wanted to stay alive, isn't it? You just wanted to cuss Greeks. That's why you told me. You just got that Greek cussing mode tonight. All right, go on then. Keep cussing. Let's see what else you got. Go on.
I'm not cussing. I'm just telling you.
All right,
It is
just
what
tell
it is,
me.
you know.
Yeah, okay. We got our big brother Greece. Yeah, what else?
Yeah.
What else we got?
Well,
That's it.
you're
That's it.
kissing Zion's hand.
No, we're not kissing the Zionist hand.
Yes, you are.
No. I don't agree with that. Yes, there might have been a deal in place, and like I've told you before, do you not think that he was forced to do that deal?
Why would you be forced, man? Nobody will be forced.
This is what I'm talking about, Jan. We're such a small country. We are forced. We're the smallest kid on the block. Yeah, we are the. Like
You're
I
not
said,
forced.
it's like
You
we
and
come
Greece, Richie. Anyone says I'm against Turkey, Greece
Yeah.
and Cyprus
Listen,
will run to that country and say, yeah.
best way to explain it to you: Cyprus, right, is in the middle of a gunfight, and all we've got in our pocket is a knife. What use is that? What use is that in a gunfight? Tell me.
Listen, when you have gunfight, somehow they're gonna run out of ammunition, right? Then that knife will be useful.
No, it won't be because you'll be gone. You won't
Okay,
be
you
able
can
to use it.
you can still use the knife and get the person out if you know how to use it.
Well, last time we tried that was in the 1960s, right? When we wanted our independence from the UK. We were using our hands pretty much and a few stones that we found on the floor. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shaheen, but I don't think a lot of the Greeks or the Turks had much ammunition or weapons. From what I've heard, most people had guns that weren't
Okay,
working.
why didn't the Zionists then? Or French?
Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum, Shine.
Walaikum salam.
Why you laugh, man?
You know what? I came up because as I'm thinking of the exact words, Abla just literally, it was like she read my mind.
What did she say? I didn't
What is
hear.
it?
The whole analogy about bullets run out, but the knife will still be there.
Yeah, it's all right for the Turks to say that, though, isn't it? It's all right for you, because you lot won't run out.
It's a
of
great
ammunition.
mind thinks alike.
I'm thinking about, I swear to you, in my mind I go, yeah, but bullets run out though, but you'll always have the knife. And she said it, I was like, oh my God.
No, I call that the Ataturk mindset.
Oh, no, don't do that.
That's what I call it when Jan comes up with these lines.
Allow it.
It's like you guys will never run out of bullets anyway, so you don't can say that. But Cypriots,
We did run out when we were in the war, Çanakkale War.
and what did you?
Woman went to war with slippers.
Oh, fuck, that's worse than
with
a
stone and slippers. It's actually in history lessons.
Oh, well done to you.
Exactly. What are you scared of then?
I'm scared of you lot with your fucking stones and slippers. That's what I'm scared. Like, that sounds fucking scary, too, man.
Yeah, I know. I scare you at home.
Yeah, she wanted to do a live tonight, Shane. She wanted to cuss
You know what
Greeks.
it is, man. I know Amna's got those big village slippers as well, bro. She's gonna beat your ass with it.
Yeah, she got the wooden ones.
Oh, fuck that.
The wooden ones in the cupboard.
I've been beat with those, bro. They're fun, man.
Yeah, it fucking hurt, bro. I got it the other day. I'm still red from the other day, man.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, she got me good. What's this? North Cyprus. We run out of ammo, but gave them the rockets. See your mindset, guys.
Stop playing
You're
victim.
wondering why we want to do
We need
France.
Israel. We victim. We're small.
Oh, God. Jan, is this why you wanted to do a live? Like,
You know, I let Shine talk.
yeah, I need to put a camera back on. Fucking get restricted.
Come on, Shine, you talk.
Nah, you doing all the talking for me.
God's sake, that's crazy.
But this is how we talk at home.
That's jokes, bro. It's just non-stop trolling between the both of you.
Yeah, that's actually true. It's non-stop fucking trolling.
Fuck you.
Doesn't stop. She wanted to do a live tonight just to take the piss out of me even more. I don't get it.
No, I really wanted to live tonight. I don't know why. Because it's bank holiday tomorrow.
I'm gonna drop for a few minutes because I need to. Well, not a few minutes. Like for a while, I need to go and shower in it. So I'll be back.
All right, man.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Yeah, but
Relationship goals by North Cypriot. Is it relationship goals, Jan?
yeah.
It keeps it interesting for sure. It definitely is interesting, but it's fucking tiring sometimes.
Yeah.
Definitely tiring.
For you, yeah.
Oh, look, my appeal got approved. There you go. Appeal got approved. Tiring for me and for you.
No, I like it.
Oh, gosh. Okay, all right, go on and tell me then the answer to this question. What is it? You tell me as a Turk.
As a Turk, you're making things more complicated. Like, you don't need another country to get involved in Cyprus. Complication is already complicated as it is.
But it's a European country, though.
So what if a European country? I don't see any other European country bringing their base to another European country. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know the answer to that, but technically, if you're in Europe, like we've always said, it's a political and a financial thing. Europe, it's not really about armies, is it?
Yeah. So why are you bringing it? Exactly what you just said is so right.
Maybe there's a deal to be made financially.
Okay, but why are you bringing the base? You're already complicated island. Like, you haven't sorted out your problems yet.
Tough one.
Technically, you're still on ceasefire. Like, it's not done yet. Okay, Turkey's not gonna go war with you again. Especially right now, it's going to have more power. It's getting bigger, more powerful. They don't want to have sanction.
No, I agree with that. I don't think there's anything for Turkey to benefit from taking Cyprus. Like, yeah, it is an extra bit of land, and the only reason Turkey likes it right now is because it's working for them. They can wash some money, they can launder what they want, they can build casinos, they can have that freedom. But once it becomes a country or annexed, and then it will follow the same rules as Turkey, So what benefit would Cyprus be to Turkey? There isn't one.
Yeah, Turkey, or like, the South is washing money too. Don't pretend you don't wash money. Or Greece.
Who told you that?
Yeah, come on, man. I've seen it myself. There's some companies in there, it's in your face. I'm not mentioning name.
I'm telling her my friends' names.
Yeah, I'm not, don't worry.
I can't even read that. My eyes are gone, man. Ender is saying, don't trust your allies. You will be on your own. What does that mean?
Oh, we got Turks tonight.
Yeah, well, it's that Turkish flag, isn't it?
Oh, only Theo is Greek.
Yes, Theo. At least we've got one Greek in here, man. What money?
Yeah, we like Theo.
What money is she talking about, Theo? I've got no idea what she's talking about. We've never laundered money or washed money in our lives.
We only put in the washing machine.
we get the Turks to do it for us.
Anyway, Mart said, Americans told Turkey to stop in 1974. So did Brits, no? Both said it.
I don't know what you mean. What's that? Oh,
Amer-
McMart.
yeah,
Americans told Turkey to stop in 1974. What does that
yeah.
mean? Oh, Turkey.
Hello, my friend. Good
Oh.
morning. I'm from Australia. I'm originally from Turkey. I live in Australia. So,
Did you just say
Hello,
good morning?
Endo.
hello. How are you?
Oh, yeah, good, but it's not morning here, son.
No. It's morning here, mate. It's
Ah,
7 in the morning in Melbourne, Australia,
oh wow. Well,
and
what are
it's
you doing in
really
Australia?
cold. I came here when I was 2 years old. I'm 50 years old, so I've been here for 48 years. But
Wow.
I'm a Turk. Yeah.
From Turkey or
What
Cyprus?
I was, no, not from Turkey. I'm from Izmir. You call it Izmirne. I call it Izmir.
Yes, the real name is Izmirni.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get slapped on the head now.
Hey,
Yeah.
the thing I don't understand, like that island should be united. Yeah, like I'm a Turk. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that island should be united, mate. They should stop fighting and just get along and unite. It's all wasted energy, honestly.
Well, what do you want us to
And
do, man? What is your name? Ender, yeah, Ender.
yeah, and yeah,
What
should
do
be
you want us to
united,
do?
my friend. Like like the thing that I get angry is like the foreign countries are getting involved in it, and like the guarantors of Cyprus is England, Greece, and Turkey. Yeah, what's France doing there, or Israel doing there? I don't get it. Honestly, they're just making it worse for themselves because they're just aggravating Turkey. And Turkey's a powerhouse. Yeah, like even Greece, they're getting together with Israel and trying to gang up on Turkey. It's not going to work. Trust me.
Do
Just
you think
making
that's?
things worse.
Do you really think that's what Greece is doing? Do you think that
Oh,
they're secretly
100%.
planning against Turkey?
Yeah, 100%. If they had the chance, if Turkey wasn't this strong, if they had the chance, trust me, they would attack Turkey.
I think that would be a
So,
stupid thing to do, even as a Greek or a
of course it
Cypriot.
would.
No, but nobody would
Look,
win.
the thing I don't understand is like our cultures are that close. The only thing that divides us is the church. We go to the mosque, you go to the church. Same culture, same people. Yes, I don't know what all this is about,
Have you
mate. It's
got
just
Greek friends in Australia?
there's a lot of Greeks here. I think Australia's got the biggest Greek population after Athens.
Okay. Someone's asking in the comments, is that Epstein in your picture?
Who mine? No, that's me, mate.
That's you.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah. It's just
What
I'm sure.
Epstein? That's me. I don't look like Epstein. What the?
I'm just reading out the
What was
comment.
that?
I've never.
No. That's me, my friend.
Okay.
No,
I'm not sure if you got that before, but
No.
that's
So
a
that's
good
my
one.
view. Yeah, like there should be peace, man.
I'm glad
I
you've
don't
got a
know what
sense of
all
humor, man.
this.
Do you go back to
Yeah, I
Turkey
want
often,
to
or
do, mate.
it's
I
quite
do,
far?
mate.
But
Yeah, I spend 6 months there and 6 months here.
okay. Well, what 6 and 6? Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So like it's winter here. It's autumn here at the moment, so we're going towards winter. So I spend summer in Turkey and summer in Australia.
So you're a sun chaser, yeah?
Sort of. Yeah.
And I don't like winter.
Yeah, I don't like
No,
winter
no,
either.
I don't like winter. It's yeah. But Turkey's beautiful. Greece, Cyprus, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Who am I?
How
Or
old
how
are
am I?
you?
Hello.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Yeah.
Are you 20? Wait. There might be
Getting really
21.
horny.
Oh my god.
So far.
Oh my
Disconnect this
God.
guy.
Yeah, I did. It just takes a second to disconnect.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. Anyways, where were we?
What do you know about Cyprus, Endo?
Yeah, so that's my point. Look, I've got a lot of Greek mates here. I've got a lot of Cypriot mates here. Like, we always argue the point on that, but, like, trust me, like, they think the Turks hate them, but the Turks don't hate them. I think there's more hatred on the Greek and the Greek Cypriot side towards us than us. Like we don't teach our kids from school to hate Greeks or Cyprians. It's not even in the curriculum yet. But in Cyprus and that, they get taught at a young age to hate us. That's not good. Honestly, it's not good at all.
I think that used to happen quite a bit. Thankfully, it doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, still not an excuse. That should never really have happened. But it's like I always say to my Turkish friends, like we lost. You got to think of it from our point of view. The reason we're a bit more, anti is because we lost it. Like, when you lose, you want to try and win it, and
Yeah,
you feel
okay,
like
yeah.
you
Oh,
understand.
we lost the islands too, man. There are some islands right next to Turkey.
I don't know. It
We're not
depends how you see
dwelling
it.
on. We
Depends how
move
you see it.
forward.
I understand, but it shouldn't have happened. It's all the politicians, mate. I don't think it's the people, it's the politicians.
Yeah, sorry.
And this doesn't help as well, like Cyprus, Greece and Israel all getting together, three of them, and saying things about Turkey like, forget the Ottoman Empire, like Israeli Prime Minister, this, that, and they're all ganging up. But that's not going to help them. Trust me. I reckon Cyprus is playing a very dangerous game here. So if they start arming that island, like the French start coming there and stuff like that, mate, Turkey's going to start building more bases in northern Cyprus, and that's not going to help you guys.
You know what I said about 2 months ago? Cyprus is going to end up being like a proxy island or a proxy war.
100% it is.
Or a
Yep.
proxy war
Exactly.
between, whoever you want to call it, which is very
All right.
worrying, to be fair.
I've got a question for you.
Stoffel, don't you think
for
it already is, though?
What,
Don't you think it
proxy?
already is? This idea of an independent Cyprus, ain't it just a myth?
Not really. I mean, it depends how you see it. I mean, we think it's independent.
Yeah, I know, but it's that's what kind of surprises me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. And just to clear it up from last time, I don't know if you were there, bro. I had to take you down because at the time, obviously, I don't want to get into it, but the whole Alex business. So, yeah, just
Oh,
wanted to. Yeah.
okay. Well, so it's
Yeah.
like favoritism, yeah?
No, it's not favoritism, but I just know him off live, and I don't get involved. I don't get involved with anyone, as you know. But I had to get involved in that one.
No, it's not. It's no skin off
Yeah, it's not
man.
personal. It's not
No,
personal.
it's cool. You run your panel the way you see fit, bro.
Absolutely. But I don't want to get into that trap where I'm always having to do that. You know what I mean?
I don't remember you thinking me, you dropping me. Maybe you did.
All right. Let's move on and see. What was your question again?
The
Or what
independent
was your
Cyprus,
statement?
isn't it a myth? Technically, Cyprus is so small and surrounded by so much big powers. It's like, how could it ever really be independent? And being part of like Europe, like the EU, it can't be independent, innit? Because no one's really fully independent, are they?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, it depends what you mean by independence.
I mean,
You know?
economically.
If it means that you get to make your own decisions and do what you want, then that's independence. But yeah, like you said, at the moment, Cyprus can't do what it wants without permission from Europe or without the North having permission from Turkey. Pretty much, right?
Yeah, you're 100%.
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I think Cyprus is not independent because you already went to EU when you already had problems, when you're already still in ceasefire. So Europe is getting involved because you're not even independent.
So Khan is saying that our independence is an illusion, basically.
I'm saying
Not
most
really.
countries' independence is an illusion, but with Cyprus, it's like the way the Greek Cypriots are so invested in this idea of independence. It's like it really feeds into their narrative, and I think they're really hooked into this idea of independence more than anyone else. And it's like, is that going to kind of like stop anyone like moving forward?
Or in what way do you mean, like in a federation, or?
Well, in a way that if you feel like, because you were saying we lost something and we're upset that we lost it, technically that's what you lost, right? You lost the fact that for the first time, Greek Cypriots had autonomous kind of like island where they sort of like maybe weren't like the only rulers, but they were the main rulers, right? So they had independent
That's it. Yeah.
Cyprus for Cypriots for the first time. That do you get
And
me?
it
So that
lasted
was
how
a
long?
real big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and how long did it last?
Well, I mean that was something that you kind of like was aiming for, and when you achieved it and then you lost it, obviously it was hard to take. Do you see what I mean? So when it's like offered to you for like as an olive branch or like, oh, join the EU and we'll give you independence or we'll recognize your independence. I think Greeks would sign any document that gave them that, any
Yeah.
kind of allegiance that would give them that, like blindly.
But do you blame them, Khan? Like, North has Turkey. What do they have if they didn't have EU?
No, I'm not blaming them. See
Yeah.
me, Jan, yeah? I never put my opinion to anything until you ask me. I'm trying to like say, what's the lay of the land here? Like, what is the factual like components that we're having to like manipulate or work around? See what I mean? So once we understand the lay of the land and the psychology of like the people that's involved, then we can understand what are the motivations and what are the aspirations of these people. But like at the moment, I will like quite simply say that the independence that the Greeks lost, right, in the Cyprus conflict was a big blow to them because that they achieved it for the first time. Do you see what I mean?
So
Like
you think that's where
as a nation of people, that's the first time they achieved that.
that's a good point. Do you think that could be where a lot of this anger comes from and a lot of this indirect
I
revenge?
think yeah,
mounting?
because they sort of felt like they were set up to fail, innit? In a way, and that
Hey, guys,
hurts
I've got
them
a
as
question
well.
for you then. Yeah, just say if the Turks did leave Northern Cyprus, yeah? Just say.
Yeah.
What would happen to the Turks in Northern Cyprus?
If you asked me this 60 years ago, I would say they'll probably be wiped out. If you ask me today, I think they'll live nicely, peacefully with their rights, as Turkish Cypriots. If they're a minority, they'll have more protection than if they had equal rights. If they're a minority, they won't be because, under a federation, they'll have some level of equality. I think it would be fine. I think that we would all just move on and pretend like nothing happened. As silly as that sounds, I think that's what will happen. We'll move on and Cyprus will be one, and I think it will excel. It will become quite a influential country financially. As you might know, Cyprus is like a center for finance and offshore accounts, and it's like a mini Monaco. Oh well, actually a
Money
bigger
laundering.
version. Bigger version of Monaco, basically. Tax favoritism and all countries in the world pooling their money for euros. I think it would actually become a very successful country.
I believe the way things are going, I reckon there's going to be some countries recognise Northern Cyprus as a republic soon.
What do you mean as a two-state?
Yeah. That's what's going to happen, mate.
How would you get that?
I reckon England. I reckon Turkey's working on it. Like there's some countries that want to recognise Northern Cyprus already, but Turkey's just holding off, telling not yet. And this is going to happen. Trust me. In the next 5 years, this will happen.
So you're saying that Turkey is telling them not to recognise Cyprus? Is that what you're saying? Or?
Yeah. At the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Why?
100. Look, well, I don't know what's going in the secret state, so they must have plans or whatever. But Pakistan and Azerbaijan want to recognise Cyprus straight away, and Turkey is just saying, hold off yet.
Is that your opinion, or is that what you know?
No. I do watch a lot of Turkish current affairs every single day.
Sorry, guys, off topic. Ender, do you speak Turkish?
I do speak fluent Turkish.
Can you say something? I've never heard an Australian speaking Turkish before.
Okay. Nasılsın? İyi misin bugün? Merhaba.
How was
Nasıl
that?
gidiyor?
Okay. Does that sound like...
Benim ismim Ender. Ben İzmir'de yaşıyorum. 6 ay Avustralya'da yaşıyorum. 6 ay İzmir'de yaşıyorum.
Hayat sana güzel.
No idea what you said, brother. I think you said something like you're from Izmir.
Yeah? That's Malacca. That's it.
That's all you need to know, bro. That's all you need to know. That's the only word we use.
Yeah. But I reckon this will happen soon. So, there's just a lot of hatred towards the Turks, mate. I just don't understand. Even my friends here, I go and visit their parents and that. I'm pretty close with them, my Cypriot mates, and all we talk about when we have a barbecue is about Cyprus and Turkey.
I thought you were going to say you're going to argue.
Thing, my brother, let's be honest, like maybe in a covert way, all Europeans hate Turkey and what Turkey stands for
everyone hates Turkey.
and the history. So let's not just blame it on the Greeks, right? The Greeks, at least they got a reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you lot gave us a reason, absolutely.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% right. But what angers me, mate, what angers me so much is I don't know what Cyprus and Greece is doing with Israel. Like,
Well, it's a
I know why
European
they're
project,
doing it.
right? It's a European project. It's like, listen, whatever Cyprus and Greece is doing with Israel is no different than what England and America is doing with Israel. Am I right?
Yeah, but
Depends.
that's just angering Turkey. Yeah, but that's just angering Turkey more and more, and Turkey's going to do more arms and.
No. It's not angering Turkey. It's not angering Turkey.
It depends.
Everyone's got the right to do what's right by their own people, right? If that's what works for Cyprus, no one can tell them to not do that. Not even Turkey can say that. Obviously,
Depends
they can
if you believe though,
can
Khan. Do you think America and England's
but the
telling
thing is,
Israel
my
what to
friend-
do, or is it the other
Of
way
course,
around?
I think Israel's a proxy state of Israel, of America.
Okay.
100%. You might as well call it the 52nd state.
But with the Cypriots, it's the other way around because then that
I gotta say,
Israel is using the Cypriots as a proxy state.
I disagree. Anything that concerns the Turkish Cypriots concerns Turkey.
Exactly, 100%.
Is that how Turkey feels?
If they didn't feel that way, we wouldn't be in this position.
I reckon Cyprus is playing a dangerous game here, like opening up their country to the French, the Israelis.
I think they're doing the right thing. They're transitioning from being in England's back pocket to America's back pocket. They've got to do it somehow, innit? America's taken over the whole region. You got to be with America, otherwise you're not going to survive. Like England's falling back. Even England's saying to them, you're taking half of Lebanon. How'd they carry on?
Okay, so I'll tell you another thing. Yeah, just say like the French are going to have an army base in Cyprus. Just say if Turkey opens up northern Cyprus to Pakistan and says, Pakistan, come here and have a navy base here.
Out of everyone, French are the biggest losers right now. French are losing in Africa. French are losing in Lebanon. French are losing throughout the whole region. Right, because even though England isn't like thick as thieves with America anymore, they're still better off than France. Let's face it. Because don't forget where England is, they kind of block. You know where they were arguing about Greenland, right? England controls that bit there where Russia can come down into that area there. England controls that.
English accent.
So England's got the England's got the thingy, the nuclear submarines in the North Sea that stops Russia coming through. So really, England still holds a bit of a thing over America, a bit of leverage.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Good day.
And goodbye.
That's a little kid, sorry, I had to disconnect.
Where do all these little
I
kids
love
get
their
into?
English accent, man. It sounds fantastic.
Have you ever been to England, mate?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, you're not missing out on much. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not talking.
I live outside of my.
Hello, guys.
If Khalid
I think
Fawcett,
she's
don't
had
worry.
too much to drink. I think she's off her head. She's
I
locked
want
up.
to say hello to the guy in the red. I don't even know.
Soft, do you know my favorite Greek word?
Let me get rid of this person. Hold on. Yeah, go
You know
on.
my favorite Greek word is eucalypto.
Eucalyptus, yeah?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Eucalypto, yeah?
Eucalyptus. I don't know why, but it sounds better in Greek. Eucalypto.
Yeah. I like that as well.
Someone taught me something really bad today.
What is it?
I don't know. I forgot it because it was bad. But he was like, if you see a Greek girl that you like, say this. So I started repeating it. And there was there's a girl working in the restaurant that's Greek. So I just turned to her and I said it straight away. And they were,
Why would you do
that?
Why would you
What
do
did I
that?
say? And they told me,
Crazy.
and I was like, "Oh, you fucking idiots!"
Yeah, we do that a lot. Big fat Greek wedding style, you know? Echodria Hidia.
Oh, that's
You heard
what
that one?
Cypriot donkey made me say that.
Echodria Hidia, yeah?
Yeah.
Classic. I think we got a Gibreo on the panel on the top with the red flag.
What does it mean? Something about...
What is Gibreo? Is it Gala? Tell us. We've got English speakers, if you don't mind speaking English.
I'm Boris, please.
Tell us, are you in Cyprus?
θέλεις
Just
να
in
πω.
Kipro? Well, tell us about the Cyprus situation. Are you living in Cyprus?
Yeah, I'm living in Cyprus, and I just want to say that the whole situation is to blame on the Americans and on Yoga Vida.
Wow.
Θα το σου πω τώρα.
What's wrong with Yoga Vida?
Γενικά η Χούντα και η Yoga Vida μαζί με τους Αμερικάνους προκαλέσαν την εισβολή. Έχω
He's got a
άδικο.
point. He's got a point.
Yeah, they provoked, the Americans and Honda. Yeah, I've said that as well. I agree with you. But the problem is, Yoga Vida and Yoga Alpha, people are connecting them, and I think they're two different things. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Yoga Vida was like not terrorists, but they were too provocative in a way.
You could even go as far and say terrorist, though. Honda was a terrorist.
Σίγουρα.
Honda was in Greece and in Cyprus. It was the same people, no? It was the same movement. It wasn't... The problem was happening in Greece at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to see then? Unification, two-state?
Well, unification would like benefit like most Cypriots, like if you were together, but that's really difficult to happen.
What do you
Why?
see as the
Because of-
obstacles?
Yeah, he's going to say the Greeks. It's our fault.
No,
Let's be honest.
specific obstacles. No blaming. Just
Like
what's the
η
obstacle?
ακροδεξιά, ας πούμε, θα θέλουν να γίνει έτσι πράγμα.
Say again? I didn't hear you.
Οι ακροδεξιοί,
Oh, okay. The far right, yeah?
yeah, they would be against this 100%.
But there's far right in all countries, on all politics. There's always going to be far right, right? Unless they're like actually given a position like far right, they can't. They're just usually used as a you know like what do they call it? The thingy window. Oh, I forgot the name of it. There's a window like where the center ground is moved to the left or the right, and the extreme right and the extreme left are used to manipulate the center ground. Right, so really the far right will never have enough votes or enough population backing them to actually make a difference. But what they do is they influence where the center lies. I think it's called the thingy window. I forgot what it's called, something window. Someone put it in the chat if you know what it is, man. Some political thing. But that's what the far right's job is. Over to Mindo. Over to Mindo. Bravo. Theo knows. Yeah, that's what that's the purpose of the far right. That's all they do, right? They can't really ever have enough votes to take power. Like they could take power militarily, but in terms of democracy, they can never hold power. Any type of far right movement, they can't. Do you see what I mean? So like you can't really see any future in any far right politics unless you're just trying to influence
yeah, but you say that, but North Cyprus has been far right for a long time. It's just recently changed. The party that was in power was far right.
You're not going to trigger anyone into any defensive positions here. You need to explain what you're talking about.
Well, you mentioned the far right can never have any votes to be in power.
I said in any country, there's no far rights that's ever been in power unless it's military.
How is there any how Ersin Tatar's far right? His party is far right. UBP is a far right party.
And where are they now?
Obviously, they're not in power, but they was in power. They're still in power. UBP is still in power in North Cyprus. It's just Ersin Tatar isn't.
When you say he's far right, how far right is he?
He's a far right party. His party is far right. It's a nationalist party.
And what's happened since you've got the left or centre left guy? What's changed over there? You seen anything?
Yeah, he's got some good ideas. He's probably one of the smartest presidents we've had in a long time. He's got amazing ideas. He's well spoken.
Because you live in the north.
To him.
You live in the north, right? So what are the people saying? Yeah, tell me.
Everyone loves him. Everyone likes him, but it's just they're not letting him have talks with the South. I feel like this war has just kind of stopped everything. The war in the Middle East.
Εγώ θυμούμαι ότι τούτος ο ηγέτης, ο Τζενούρκος που έχουν είναι λίγο πιο προοδευτικός, ισχύει.
Also, Israel having a big influence in the south isn't
Let me talk.
helping.
Tell me again. Tell me again.
Πιο προοδευτικός που...
Oh, the previous. But who was before Tata? Does anyone know?
Όχι, το σπεν τώρα.
Oh, Erkoman.
Ναι.
Wasn't it Akinji before?
No, he's talking about now. I think he's talking about who. I think you're asking who's the president now. Yeah, it's Erkoman. What do you think about Erkoman? Do you know?
Yeah, I think Erdogan's a really good president. I think he's great. He's well spoken. He keeps Turkey close to him. But Israel having a big influence on the south of Cyprus isn't helping anything. They've bought everything. It's their island, bruv. Like,
All right, Stoffel, thanks for having me on the panel. I'm going to jump off. Love and respect to everybody. Thanks a lot, Sophia.
It was nice to meet you, my friend.
All right,
it was
mate.
nice to meet you.
All right, Ndelabi, no problem.
I'll catch you later, mate. You take it easy.
Red flag.
See,
Yeah,
how
I
nice
think
is this panel? The Cyprians and the Greeks and the Turks are getting along really well. Why can't they just do it like this? How we get along on this panel? There's no arguments. Everyone's talking. You know what I mean?
My friend,
are you Greek or Cypriot?
Who, me?
Me, I'm Turkish.
You're Turkish Cypriot, yeah?
No.
the
I'm
guy,
Turk.
the
I'm
guy
Turk,
above
Turk.
you is a Greek Cypriot. I'm Greek Cypriot. Jan is Turkish, and Shaheen is Turkish Cypriot.
We've got a big Cyprian community in Melbourne as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are they Cypriot or Greek and Turkish? Are they
Cypriot,
mixed?
Turkish Cypriot.
There's more Greek Cypriots in Melbourne than Turkish Cypriots. Yeah. But there is a lot of Turkish Cypriots as well. But there's a lot of Greeks. So Melbourne's
There's those of Greeks. There's those of Turkish Cypriots in Australia in a whole.
Yes, a lot of Greeks moved to Australia back in like the 50s and 60s.
Yes. I think it's the biggest Greek population after Athens in Melbourne.
And in New York, there's a lot of Greeks.
Yeah.
Which part of Cyprus are you from? Red flag. Oh, you're on mute. I don't know what to call him. I call you red flag. Yeah. What part of Cyprus are you from? When you come back, let us know. Yeah, Senator, what's going on then? Have you heard any news on the north, or is it just same as usual?
Yeah, it's the same shit.
I'm from Nicosia.
Okay, good. Are your parents refugees or grandparents?
Yes. My mom's side was from Yerlakos, and my grandpa's side.
Why do you not call yourselves refugees?
No, I said his parents, not him.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I know, like, but I've realized that Greek Cypriots are always like, oh, I'm a refugee. Why does everyone label
I know what you
themselves?
mean. You're saying technically we're not refugees because we're still in our own country, right? We haven't moved country.
No, because at the end of the day, the Turkish Cypriots are in the same boat. I've never heard a Turkish Cypriot say, "Oh, I'm a refugee." I always hear it from Greek Cypriots. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm a refugee in my own country." Like,
Yes,
like,
because
why is
most
that?
of the Turkish Cypriots were in the north part before
No,
the
there wasn't.
invasion.
No, there wasn't. The highest Turkish Cypriot was the highest one. I think the second highest population before the war was in Limassol and Paphos.
There is a lot in Limassol. I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
Even now.
Like, there's loads of Turkish Cypriots. Everyone moved, but I'm just trying to understand why is it that like Greek Cypriots label themselves as like our refugee? Like, is that something?
Refugees is a person, good evening, that has lost everything he had or she had, and has moved to a place where she has nothing anymore.
Yeah, I know the meaning.
This is not the case with the Turkish Cypriots.
How is it not the case? Everyone moved. My grandma
it's not
is
the
from.
case because
My
they
grandma's
have
from the south.
it's not the case because your grandma who is now, I suppose, in the north
Yeah.
side. Yes, she has a house. Yes,
Yes.
to her name.
Yes, correct.
And so
Correct. We don't,
Why?
because we're never given anything as refugees back here.
Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted to know. So the
Yes,
government never gave you
This
deeds.
is why a refugee is a person that has lost everything and was given nothing.
Okay, Maria, can I ask one question? So
Yeah, sure.
let's say like after 74, when, I don't know, there would be a Greek Cypriot family in let's say Kyrenia, yeah? And they lost their house because of the war, and they moved to Paphos. Did the government not give them new deeds or give them a house or anything?
No, not even today.
So they just live.
Most refugees, even today, they don't have titles. Most of them.
Really?
And even if they have titles, you know what kind of titles they have? They could have lost like millions of pounds in land and I don't know what else, enterprises and factories and I don't know what else they had. And now they have a small apartment of 50 square meters, living 4 people, and maybe they will give them a deed after 50 years.
Wow.
Maria, Alex said
This is the reason they call themselves refugees.
Yeah, no, that's pretty shit.
Yes, and the land that
horrible.
was taken was illegally sold to the Turkish Cypriots.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, there's a lot illegally sold to Greek
Sold.
Cypriots too
It was
after the
given.
war.
It wasn't sold.
No, what I'm trying to say is this, yeah. No, what I'm trying to say is that, like, you see the Turkish homes in the south, but Greeks live in them, yeah?
Yeah, but they don't have the deeds.
Yeah, they don't have the deeds, yeah, but
and they also pay rent.
Oh, that's
Yeah, and
mad.
I think a lot of the Greeks are also aware that they may need to return those properties one day.
Yeah.
Not all of not they're supposed to return them, and they also pay rent.
That's crazy. That's pretty shit. That's a pretty shit government, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie.
Maria, Alex said.
What I've just understood is that your own government made you refugees.
Yeah, basically, yes. It's a shit government.
That's what I've
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it?
That's mad. So
I
basically,
thought Cyprus was doing really well
And
at country
also,
before the war.
And
yeah, it was
if a
doing very well.
If a person dies and it has no children, his whole estates and his whole whatever he has goes to the government.
Who did they pay rent to?
Cyprus was doing very well before the war. There was like a Coca-Cola factory. I think there was like only a couple in like Europe or something. And Marash was like one of the hotspots of Europe. So yeah.
But I never heard the Greek Cypriots paying rent when they
Yeah,
live
they
in Turkish
do.
Cypriot
Yeah.
house. Who do they pay rent to?
Yeah, they do. They don't pay. They pay rent to the government, but it's something stupid. It's just like a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Couple hundred.
Hey guys, it was nice meeting you. Thank you very much for listening. I'll catch you later.
Thanks for coming up, Ender.
Bye bye.
It depends. It depends on their income, Janan.
Yeah.
Jan. It depends on their income. If they're both working, let's say it's a couple, and they have 2 more kids, and they're both working and they're gaining this much, and actually they're supposed to pay rent. If it is a single mother or a single father, or their income is below a certain point, okay, then the government comes and pays some of it or all of it. But it depends on what you get on your income.
But why aren't they building council houses to help people like in the UK, instead asking people to pay rent? Those houses, even government doesn't own it.
And also they have to fix it. Most people, they fix it themselves. They pay to fix it also.
So government doesn't help them?
No.
In the
How is
north,
that
a lot of people got land and stuff.
They didn't get land in their name. They
Yeah, in the
got
north, not in the
some
north. In the north, we got
in
it
the
in our
north.
name.
Yeah, in the north. Yeah, sure. But in the here, when people were like farmers and they had a lot of land, they could rent Turkish Cypriot land here and cultivate it. But most of them, they didn't succeed, so they stopped it.
Oh, that's pretty shit. So the word refugee is a proper refugee. Like now, I understand.
That's why we say it. I guess it's got a meaning to it.
Yeah,
Obviously,
100%.
it's our
Yeah,
parents.
because
I
I
don't know
didn't
about.
know. Yeah, no, I didn't know that because on our side, people got houses and land, and do you understand, under their name. So I thought I assumed it was the same with your side, and I was always like, I was always like, why are these guys painting themselves like, you know what I mean, like they've got a chip on their shoulder. But it makes sense.
I don't know about your situation, Maria, but I'm not a refugee. My dad was a refugee, so he was like 10 years old when he had to leave his house. But
well, so that house is gone, and obviously he didn't get a replacement in the south.
No, he didn't.
Oh fuck, that's pretty shit.
They were living in tents for a while till they figured out where they're gonna live. They were living in Limassol, in tents, in Ayos Athanasios, on the mountains. So yeah, it was rough for them for sure.
Yeah.
It was very difficult for the Greek Cypriots. I don't know if they wanted this state, this situation to be like this, for they have a claim or something. But they left that the refugees were left to their fate.
But how do we calculate the entitlement, Maria? So I don't know. Are you refugee or is your parents?
My grandparents were refugees. Yeah.
Yeah. So
They
how
lost
do we
everything. Yeah.
how do we figure out a replacement?
Maria, what area was you from on the north?
10 minutes from Nicosia.
Okay.
It was very close. Very close.
But on the north side, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Horko.
It was 2-3 villages, from my grandparents. My grandma was from one village. My grandpa was from another village, and they stayed in another village. It was like 2-3 villages together. It was from Yerolako, Agia Marina, Skilura, this kind of villages.
As I was asking Maria, what's the entitlement for us? How do we figure out what we should get based on what we had? This is another problem we have when we're looking for a solution. Compensation is a big thing. How do you compensate? Because you can't value it from 1974 and you can't value it from today. So how do we make it fair for us?
So are we going to get compensation for the use? We're going to get compensation for the actual deed. We're going to get compensation for, I don't know. Compensation is it's a big word.
It's a big word, but do you still have your deeds?
It's a big word, and what is the solution? What is the solution? You see a solution?
There's only one solution. That's a federation.
They will never accept this. They will never accept. For Greece, they will
The
never
Greeks or
accept this.
the Turkish?
Both of them, they will never accept it. They don't want the federation. They want 2 states. Afu the Turkish Cypriots now they want 2 states, no?
I think they changed their mind when they voted Erdogan.
Anne? Okay, I didn't know that because Erdogan is talking about 2-state solution.
Is he?
This is what I heard.
Yeah, 2 states.
No, it can't be.
Yeah, definitely. No,
What
they
has he said?
changed it.
What has he said?
It's gonna be the Greek Cyprus, the South Cyprus Greek side.
The government of Cyprus and
it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know,
the
the
northern
government of something else.
Turkish Republic of the Islamic Cyprus is what we want.
What?
Okay. We don't listen. I don't know.
Where's this coming from, though? Is this accurate or is it tabloids and newspapers?
No, it's from no, it's not the tabloids. It's the official. It's when they went to the United Nations Assembly, no, to the United Nations discussions last time
Last
in
week,
New
I think.
York. In New York, I don't
Yeah.
know where they went. Like a couple of years ago, they started talking about the two-state solution.
That was Tata, though. That was the previous
Yeah, but
president.
still, it didn't change, Sophocles. It didn't change.
Maria, do you live in Nicosia now?
Yeah, I do.
How about you, Senator? Where you live again?
Right now I'm in Nicosia. The Greek side.
North or Greek
No,
side?
the Greek side, yeah.
So this is a solution, a two-state solution they want, and that's.
Hello.
What do you want, Maria, like for Cyprus?
No, I want, if you're asking me, I want the people that are originally from Cyprus to stay in Cyprus and be united again. And I want everybody else, like the English, the Israelis, the Russians, the Turks that came from Turkey as women, and they're not married to Turkish Cypriots, or they don't have built their life here, to go back. All of them.
What about the
These
people?
from
What about
the Israelis, the English, everybody, just
what
to
about
leave.
what about
And have the people like the Maronites, the
what about
Armenians,
the Greek? What about the
Turkish
mainland Greek people?
Cypriots.
What about
Huh?
What about people from Greece? Can
No,
they
who are not also who are not married to a Greek Cypriot, or they don't have businesses here and they haven't established a life here. They can go back also. I mean,
I feel like that sounds like a shout, you know. I feel like that sounds good.
no, this is what is it? They should leave us alone. Seriously, I mean, this
You
is
agree?
getting too much.
You agree with
Too
that,
much.
Senator?
Yeah, it sounds like a shout. Not bad. She's basically saying whoever's not Cypriot and whoever hasn't established a life here and is not, is just, do you understand? There's no need for them to be here. That's just, it sounds sensible.
The Israelis now, they bought how many area
Yeah, I was
square
in the
meters
City of Dreams
area in
yesterday.
Larnaca now, and they're just having it like a secluded area, and I don't know what they're doing. Seriously, everybody's coming here, and they're buying something, and they're fixing something, and they're calling it their own. Is it their own? It's like me going to Israel now and just demanding. I have millions, billions, and I'm just demanding the space of Israel.
The thing with the English and the Israelis, it also makes us a target.
How?
Come again?
It does make him a
Makes us a
target.
target.
It makes him a very big target. Did you see what the foreign minister of Turkey said after the French Macron, the president, visited Cyprus?
Oh, this is so stupid. Oh, seriously, we were laughing, all of us here.
Yeah.
Well, what
My
did he say?
God.
Because I didn't see it.
So basically, Macron visited Cyprus and blah blah blah. And basically, the Turkish foreign minister said, like, to the people of Cyprus, the Greek Cyprus, was like, just don't fall into their games. It's a game, like, and it is a game. That's how it started. That's how things heated up before.
They dropped 2 drones, or 1 drone, I don't know, or maybe there were more drones coming from the area, okay, and they said that we were threatened by the Iranians, and I don't know from who else, and the Hezbollah in Lebanon, and France
And obviously, Iran denied it. Obviously,
and I don't believe that. Why would they threaten us? Seriously, what?
They were targeting the bases, not
The
actual-
bases, yes, that's why they should leave.
But Iran was targeting American bases, not British. British didn't get involved, so I don't
No,
think
they
it
were
was real.
targeting the British bases
American-
also because the Americans were using the British bases at some point.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I just find it hard to believe Iran managed to get
It's
penetrate
a NATO.
Israel and
Jan
come to
is a
Cyprus.
NATO. It's a NATO base, you know. So it's
Iran done so well. I'm so proud of them.
like I don't know if we should be proud of anyone anymore. They should all stop and finish the story.
I think I understand where you're coming from, Maria. Like, you want all the Cypriots to be living together in harmony,
Yes.
not
like
a foreign
before.
nation. But we live in 2026, like everyone moving around the world now, like no one stays in their native country. It's really hard to achieve that.
Yeah, the problem is that Cyprus is so small, and it's like a neighborhood of New York. This is how big it is. How long it will take for all of them that are here to kill themselves, fight themselves, bomb themselves, ruin themselves. Too many conflicts, too many interests.
I think it's in the hands of government, isn't it? Whether you make enemy or friend, it's in the government hand. Like, you have to be careful who you choose.
It's a very small place, Jana. You
I
don't.
know.
A very small place.
I know it's very small. That's what I'm saying. Like, the government you choose, the person you choose to govern you, is the person responsible for your country to have enemy or friends.
Our government is controlled by the previous president. Our judicial system is controlled by our previous president.
Anastasiadis, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah,
you think he's in control?
what do you think?
I know that they were working together in a previous government.
Χριστοδουλίδης είναι ένας Καραγκιόζης. Όπως το λέω.
I thought that was Fidias.
Έτσι εκείνος είναι Καραγκιόζης, εντάξει.
There you go, yeah.
He's a
Αλλά ένας
clown.
είναι πιο παλαβός που τον άλλο.
I know what Balavos is.
Yeah, you know what
Michael,
Karakyozi is as well, because it's Turkish.
No.
He got married the other day. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I don't remember.
Ναι, παντρευτεί με μια
And
παλαβή.
I saw a TikTok video, okay, and he picked up the girl. He picked up the girl literally, okay, and he was turning her around, and her thing was showing all of it.
He was inviting random people to his wedding.
Where was the wedding? In the village?
In Limassol.
In Limassol?
Έκαμε το γυρίστο λογικά που είναι ιερέα.
Sorry?
Ήταν στο χωριό μου, ξέρω στο...
Ο κύριος του Φιδία είναι παπάς.
Yeah, he's a
Ναι.
priest. He's a priest in Aios Kyprianos.
Ναι, he didn't marry them όμως.
He did. He married them, I think.
And he was together with another priest, but the priest who married them was not the father.
I don't know.
Το Φιδίας έκαμε, είμαι σίγουρος έκαμε για το κόμμα του, σίγουρα έκαμε ένα σκάνδαλο για να βγάλει εκείνους που ήθελε.
Theo's saying he made a competition to win an invite to his wedding. No way.
No, 50
Oh
people.
my god.
His wife, he was showing that his wife.
What was the showing? I don't understand.
Well, they were having like a dance performance, like a couple dance performance, like and he lifted her up, and he was turning her around.
Yeah.
And it was so short. What she was wearing was so short that everything was showing. But it was very bad. It was too much. And his father is a priest.
Φιδίας did a lot of μαλαγίες. He even called disabled people crazy.
No, he did.
Do you think he's got a chance on the next election? It's coming now. It's next week, isn't it? The by-elections in Cyprus.
Not next week, the day after the next.
The week after
24th, on the 24th.
of May. Do you think he's got a chance, or is it?
No, he will elect some people, yeah.
Εγώ πιστεύω ότι έχει
Hopefully
chance,
only one.
αλλά the only reason he has a chance is because he's promoting with the social media. If there was no social media, no one would know Fidia.
People are saying her bottom was showing. It wasn't just her bottom. That's amazing.
I don't know where Cyprus is going, to be honest with you. It sounds complicated. It's getting worse, or is it getting better? I don't know.
It's getting very worse. It's getting.
Where is it going to end up?
I don't know. Seriously, two-state solution.
Or is it starting to look good, the two-state solution?
Without compensation, without anything.
No, I think there would be really good compensation on a two-state if that happens. Hopefully, it doesn't happen, but
Who will sign
Do you
it?
think so?
because the Greeks won't sign it if it's not a good deal.
Do you think there is one president in Cyprus? There is one person in Cyprus that will sign this as a president?
No, but the worrying thing is, if we don't sign it and make a good deal for everybody, it might be forced. Well, what happens if it's forced?
Yeah, but
We get nothing.
Armenian current president, is pro-Turkey now. That's the only first ever president in Armenia. Nothing is impossible. You could have that tomorrow in Cyprus. You could have a president in the near future, and that will be pro-Turkey, and they want to make a deal and accept two-state.
But what's the deal? This is the thing. This is the problem. What's the deal?
Well, the deal is it's going to go in their pocket anyway. Do you think it's going to go in people's pockets?
If those Janan goes to their pockets too, we will seriously, everything is. I cannot even pronounce it. I wanted to swear now, and I'm trying to control myself.
It's all right. It's an 18 plus. You can swear if you want.
No,
If it makes you feel better, go for it.
I will not.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, nothing is impossible.
No, I don't think it's going to be a two-state. I think the only thing the United Nations is talking about is a federation, and the only thing that we need to do is make sure that everybody's happy. I think that's
The United Nations can say anything they want. If the Turkish Cypriot side is talking about a two-state solution, it will both be on the table.
Yeah, but who's going to push this two-state? Like you said, who's going to sign it?
Nobody.
The United States is at the edge of collapse so far, wasn't it? That they were saying America, we need money.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on, Magma. Been waiting patiently.
I've been waiting patiently. Yes. Just to get the facts right. I know that we're talking about homes and everything else, but getting the facts right with what's happening in Cyprus. The Turkish Cypriots elected a new president, and we all know that president wants a federation. He doesn't want two separate states. He does want a federation. I think at the moment, okay, what's happening on the Republic of Cyprus side is that it's stalled, and it's stalled because of too much influence that's happening around the world. All right, I think they're absolutely not interested at the moment. Okay, I think they're too busy focusing on powers that be across the waters in Israel. I think they're too focused on making the EU happy with them, because don't forget they've been doing the presidency for the EU, and I really think that it's a lost opportunity. It's amazing how both sides are talking about, the Turkish Cypriots, what they understand, and the Greek Cypriots, what they understand. I'm Greek Cypriot. I'm half Greek Cypriot. I've said this before. Okay.
You live in Nicosia, if I remember correctly, right?
I do. Yes. I live in the old town. I live 5 minutes from the crossing. I have my own house. And I really think that it's a disappointing opportunity. The amount of media that's giving false information from both sides. I'm not saying from my side or the other side. is unbelievable. Right?
So where's it
People are
coming
giving.
from, Mark? Because we had a Greek Cypriot and a Turkish Cypriot earlier say that they heard from their news, their respective news.
It's mixed media. What interpretation of whatever political side that media is actually interpreting, right? It could be either from the news or from the radio or from the television. It could be from newspapers. They've all got different opinions. I mean, you know, educated people, we're all educated here. We're all discussing, you know, what's happening. I duly respect everything. But I honestly think it's a missed opportunity. It's not going to happen now. You know, with this war going on in the Middle East, with the influence that's coming from Israel, with the French now starting knocking the door because they want to have some influence in the area, okay? You know, the British, I've got to be careful what I say, but the British is couldn't give a rat's A, begins with A, about the Cypriots themselves in Cyprus. You know that it all suits everybody. I've said this to somebody the other day, that, you know, all these powerful countries like France and Britain and Turkey and USA and, you know, Israel. I mean, it's a country that's almost the same size as Cyprus, but it's so powerful. You know, they're all at the dinner table, and Cyprus is the menu. You know, that's exactly what's happening. You know, and it's always going to be that way because they're always looking at somebody else to try and help them find a solution.
But why does it always need to be that way, Mark?
I don't know. I think that the situation we have at the moment is that, you know, it's not suiting the politicians. The politicians should get their act together. We've said that loads of times. It's politicians, and the only person who's actually getting their act together. And I'm from a family that, you know, is from Lefkosia, and we've lost a lot of property in the north. I mean, I was going to mention earlier on about the something I wanted to share with everybody about, you know, we're talking about property deeds, all right, and why a lot of Greek Cypriots are disgruntled. They're very upset about not getting their property back. But the whole thing about this is that it's a broken opportunity. It's a broken opportunity for both sides to sit down and talk. And the only people who want to talk about this and try and find a solution, and is willing to find a solution, are the Turkish Cypriots at the moment. Okay, which is embarrassing. Why isn't Christodoulidis why isn't he turning around and saying, okay, let's talk about this? Because all the countries don't want this to happen. Can you imagine if Cyprus is reunified in the next 2 years, all right, as a federation state? What is that going to look on the Israelis with the Palestinians? What's that going to look like with Lebanon with so many different sects? They don't like it. They don't like it if somebody succeeds in the area because it all suits somebody else. All right, and this is something that I have more an opinion about.
And the left of Cyprus is very, how to say it, is trying to
push it forward. Yes, I know. Yeah,
they're trying to push it forward.
Yeah. I know. I mean, like, it doesn't matter what field of politics somebody's in. It's just common sense. It's going round and round in circles. And nothing's going to happen in the next X number of years if this continues. What's happening?
Spitting facts, mate. You are spitting facts. I'll only come up and tell you that, mate. What you're saying is 100% truth, mate. It needs more. More needs to be done, innit?
I mean, more needs to be done. Yes, I know. Like, isn't it just what do you call it? What isn't it amazing that, you know, I get upset when I see things in the north, like, for example, property and things like that. And, you know, I have a house, not my house, it's my mother's house, my grandparents, my aunt's house in Varosha. We have a house in Varosha. I can see it when you go on your little bicycles that go on this dark tourism tours. You can see the house there. I get upset about all these things.
Did you call it dark tourism? Did you call it dark tourism?
Yeah, I call it dark tourism because it's a different story. Have you been to Varosha? Have you been to the Turks call it Marash?
Yeah, I've got family that live in Marash. Yeah.
Okay, so we call it dark. I call it dark tourism because when you go there, I'm open to go to lots of places. Okay, I'm open-minded. I don't get angry. I did get angry that day when I went in the summer, and you hire bicycles and you get on a bicycle and you go cycling around.
Yeah.
So I had to try and find this bloody house. All right. So I knew exactly from the description my mum told me years ago where it is. Okay. And I was cycling, and I found the Barclays Bank. All right. You know, everyone's like putting an eyebrow at Barclays Bank. So I saw Barclays Bank, and it was 2 houses away from there. I couldn't go there because the security, not the soldiers, but security wouldn't let me go. So there's the house. That's the family's house. I saw the family's house. All the houses there are all like belongs to people. They belong 99% by Greek Cypriots. Doesn't matter what they are. It's Cypriots. They're owned by people. And you've got all these tourists who are going around in little jeeps and little buses and little, golf carts, having a look at.
You're saying like it looks nice, but there's a darker story behind it. Is that why you call it dark tourism?
I call it dark tourism because it's macabre. It's
It's at the expense of the Greek and Turkish Cypriots who lost land. And
that's what I'm getting.
Absolutely.
Like the dark history behind it. That's why you call it a dark tourism. Yeah.
No, I call it. Yeah, I call it. Yeah, it is. It's dark tourism because it's.
I'm not judging you, bro. I'm just trying to understand you, man. Do you know what I mean?
Macabre. It's macabre behind it. It's the sadness and melancholy behind it. It's not something that when you go on a tourist guide, you like to see museums and cathedrals and mosques, and you like to go and see all these things that are, that you go to the old town in Famagusta. Beautiful
But wouldn't you say though, just like in hindsight, if you think about it, for something that was comes from such a dark history, for it to be where you would like it to be in the future, wouldn't you say that this is a natural progression?
In Varosha at the moment? Absolutely.
Well, no,
not.
just to the world in general. I mean, between two, divided governments and systems and setups, and thinking about it one day being free to live in. Because I can play the victim. Not saying you are, but I'm saying we like doing that, don't we? Yeah, and we're in 2026 now, and it's like everything we talk about in Cyprus. There's more effort put into division, than there is in unity. And when we just saying what you're saying now, I get that, but I would see that as a natural progression. Imagine like 50 years from now, people are living there. They say, "Oh, this is such a nice place. How'd you get to live here?" Well, it was closed down for so long, and then they gradually opened it up for like sort of tourists just to see how things went, and then eventually it turned into people living there. Isn't that a realistic?
That's a good thing to do, obviously. But when you go around on a bicycle and you see plaques like as if you're in a museum, all right, that's not pretty good, to be honest with you. That's pretty bad taste. You put plaques in front of the Toyota garage. You put a plaque in front of a church that was built in the 1960s. Okay, and a plaque where you got a group of tourists who are being followed by Japanese tourists or whatever, and you got somebody with a flag following them around to see this building, and this is this building, and there's the Barclays Bank, and there's a Toyota garage, and I mean. Okay, it's fascinating that everything is like
it's distasteful, is what you're saying. It's distasteful.
It's distasteful. I don't think it's distasteful for the people who've got no family or no connection with it. All right, it's if you have roots to that place, so you have roots, or that somebody has, then it's a completely different matter. I mean, if I was from Argentina and I decided to go to Cyprus for a holiday, and someone took me around Varosha, it would mean nothing to me. It would think, "Oh, this is awesome." It's a hidden shell. But I think that something like that is, this is why people get upset. And I heard somebody mention earlier on that Turkish Cypriots lost homes in Limassol and in Paphos and in Larnaca. When you come out on Mackenzie's Beach, that area there it used to be a Turkish Cypriot
all Cypriots lost, man. All Cypriots lost. Yeah. Other than those who joined for the madness, because let's have it right. There was a lot of Cypriots that were part of the craziness. Not all, but let's not downplay all the majority of Cypriots that weren't for that who lost. Do you know what I mean? So all Cypriots lost. I get it, but don't you think that I know this is going to sound a bit harsh and a bit vinegary, but or salty, I should say. But if we keep up with the narrative of the pain, doesn't that just keep it all divided? Shouldn't we be looking on a positive note, like moving forward?
Absolutely. But the people who are stopping that are the politicians.
Well, they are. I mean, it always fascinates me that the sanctions on Northern Cyprus only benefits Turkey. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't hinder them. They love it. It benefits Turkey because they get to stay there that much longer. Do you see what I mean? It's like, no problem. This is lovely. This is how we want it anyway.
It holds power in a way, you're trying to say.
No, what I'm trying to say is what the ROC sees as punishment is actually become a reward. Yeah, like it would hinder Turkey more if the ROC was driving for unity. Yeah, because Turkey would be like, oh, hold on a minute, we're about to lose some land, right? But sanctions actually gets Turkey to go, yeah, cool. Everyone just gets the idea of what we're doing here. Like, we're here and this is what we're doing. And it's just farcical when you look at it. Like, and I'm Turkish Cypriot, so don't get me wrong. Like, you know, I'm not a believer that we can live together again. That's just my view. That's nothing to do with racism. It's just to do with 50 years of history and two people who may share an identity of some sort living separately for so long. I think a lot of pain would ensue before you ever get to this beautiful utopian vision that everyone strives for. That's just my view. But yet again, I think a unity does lie within a future somewhere after a living together in harmony without borders and recognition of all. That has to happen first in order to get to the unity. That's just my opinion. But if we're talking about now and the sanctions and everything else, Turkey love it. You're rewarding them like by doing that.
No,
Only the Turkish
I don't think
Cypriots
so, my
suffer.
friend. How's Turkey getting rewarded, mate? Turkey's spending billions of dollars in Cyprus, mate.
But they're
So
making a
how's
shit
Turkey
ton
getting
of
on?
money in Cyprus as well, bro.
They've got the monopoly of everything.
They make money on everything that happens there. Also, every single food that Turkish Cypriots export to Turkey is taxed. Do you know that, right? Don't think they're giving money in one hand and not taking it from the other. They are. Don't get me wrong. I have a love for Turkey. I will
but
always
they're
love
giving
Turkey.
more money. Yeah,
I
but they're
can't-
giving more money. They're giving more money to Cyprus, to Northern Cyprus, than what Turkey's making.
Because right now it's their land. That's how they're viewing it. Yeah, and there's no challenge to it. The challenge.
It is Turkish land, but the Turks live there, mate.
Listen,
So-
I'm not
there's
sitting
no-
here with a
if the
hatred
Turkish
towards
army-
Turkey, bro.
Listen,
I'm just
my friend,
saying
if the
from
Turkish
an
army-
altruism point of view, of a humanistic point of view, you have to look at everyone's side, yeah? And you have to just be a little bit realistic.
I would
with
love
it.
Cyprus to be united, but the way the Cyprians think of the Turks, it will never be united. And I don't think the Turkish army is ever going to leave Cyprus.
That's true.
So-
that I won't
so
argue with.
They'll never leave. So I think the Greeks and the Cyprians have to start thinking different about Turkey, mate. They hate us that much.
I
They
do
got a lot of
agree.
hatred towards us.
I do agree with that. I can't
But the
not
Turks
deny
don't
that.
hate them. But the Turks don't hate them. Look, I'm a Turk, yeah? I don't hate Cyprians and Greeks and talk about how evil they are or how... But the Cyprians, like, they always talk how evil the Turks are. That's like... And what they're doing with Israel as well, I reckon the current president of Cyprus is going to get Cyprus into a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Well, I let the Greek Cypriots talk for that. I mean, I'm just talking from the other side of the fence.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like, see, what would happen if the Turkish army did leave Northern Cyprus? What would happen? What do you
Turkish
think would
Cypriots or Turks? What do you mean?
No, the Turkish army. Just say
Oh,
if Turkey
Turkish army,
said,
yeah.
yep, I'm leaving Northern Cyprus, yeah? What do you think would happen to Northern Cyprus? Honestly, honest truth. What do you think would happen?
Do you know what, bro? There's an easy answer to this solution, yeah? And the answer is simple. Yeah, the ROC do have the power to open up the TRNC because it's in their hands. Yeah, because they are part of the governing body of the world, the EU and everything else, Schengen zone, whatever it may be. They could tomorrow say, all right, guys, here's what we're going to do. Have your Turkish base over there, get Turkish troops off the island. They're only 40 miles away. They be there whenever. I'm not saying, I know it's not the same, but nevertheless, they're there. You have your government. You have a Turkish Cypriot government. We have our ROC government. You give us identity on that side as we give you identity on this side. There is an invisible border. Once you cross that border, the laws may change because you're in somebody else's jurisdiction. And we see how that goes for X amount of time before we look towards coming one again. I don't think that actually spits in anybody's face.
Okay, just say with those 6 F-16s that Turkey deployed to Northern Cyprus, yeah? And then Cyprus is saying, oh, yeah, but you can't do that with permission of us. Well, it's all right for them to invite the French there. So Turkey did that when they invited the French. Turkey said, okay, then I'm going to send 6 F-16s. So it's just getting worse, mate.
Don't get me wrong. There's going to be war. Sooner or later, there's going to be war. Because no one's talking this.
100% there is. But,
yeah, I agree.
But that's because of the Cypriot leaders, mate. They should just back off Israel a little bit, mate.
The Cypriot leaders don't have that much say. I mean, I think they do. They're more than obviously we do, but I think Greece has got a lot of string pulling there. I think
it's sad. They should just be united, mate. That island should be united and just call it Cyprus, yeah? It should be united, but I can't see it being united because there's a lot of hatred towards the Turks. And there is.
Yeah.
1,000,000% there is.
Yeah, there is. That's in fact, you might as well just call it what it is. It's just racism, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it is.
It is, my friend. Even the Greeks, mate, they want to maximise everything. Like
but not Turkish Cypriots to Turkey, isn't it? But it's a past pain, isn't it? This that will always.
It is.
100% carry on.
It is.
And how do we get past that? You know what I mean?
It's sad. The only way to get past it, the people in Cyprus or Northern Cyprus have to elect their presidents or their politicians in a better manner, I think. So if you've got the Cypriot president, each time he goes up and he bags Turkey and bags the Turkish Cypriots and that, mate, what do you think the people are going to do?
Yeah.
Mate, they're not going to unite.
Yeah.
That's my point of view anyway, but it's sad.
Even McMart has said it. Like McMart was saying it just a minute ago, which is why I had to come up and give him some credit because, he said it's embarrassing, And in his perspective, the TECs are doing more towards pushing a togetherness than the GCs are. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah, that's right.
This is not wrong. Like,
remember 20 years ago when they voted for the Annan solution where to be united and make it a federation? It was the Cyprians who knocked it back. The Turkish Cyprians wanted to unite.
I know, but they will say that there was, it didn't really cover all of their points and stuff, which is fair enough. Okay, if that's how it is, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's the same like with Crans Montana in 2017. There was a few security issues. It didn't get across the line. But what I'm saying is, talk shouldn't stop. Yeah, progression shouldn't pause. Yeah. Everything should keep moving forward.
I think the only solution is two-state solution, mate. I can't see them uniting.
I don't know about two-state.
I just can't see them uniting, but I can't see them uniting.
I think I've always been a two-stater. I have until I rubbed shoulders with a lot of Greek Cypriots on these lives and learned a lot as well from Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. I'm definitely going to favour more a togetherness. I still don't agree with unification, that's for sure. I don't think that works in my mind. I think two-state is quite abrupt and could potentially lead to just more war within the region because that's how this all started in the beginning. I think a BBF is probably a decent solution, but no one's ever really painted out what that looks like. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the roadmap looks like to that, but definitely it can't be under an ROC government for all or under a TRNC government for all. There definitely has to be, a shared power. But this is where the problem is. Why would the ROC want to share power when they currently have full autonomous power within the world district in a global setting? Why would you want to
I
share
think the
power?
biggest problem, I reckon the biggest problem for Cyprus at the moment is becoming too friendly with Israel, mate. That's going to cause them a lot of headaches in the future. I promise you.
Yeah,
That's not going to be good for Cyprus. That's not going to be good for Cyprus, mate.
I think so.
Because
But
they're just poking Turkey, like they're poking a bear, and so yeah, it's not good.
I've got a
Should get
tough
the
question
Cypriots just to run Cyprus.
for the Greek Cypriots. Magmar or Marie, you might want to answer this if you want. Would you rather be aligned with Israel or with Turkey?
Interesting. That's a good one.
Personal basis.
If you're comfortable to answer it, go for it.
Okay, look. There's an expression that I'll use, and please don't get offended by anything. All right. So I'm not attacking anybody. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. All right. Okay.
you know the
Better devil you know
Israeli
than the
devil,
devil
yeah?
you don't.
You know the Israeli
It's
devil. Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying you know the Turkish devil?
no. I'm talking
Okay.
about. I'm talking
about Turkey.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about Turkey, okay? You know, like, I understand. Look, we have grievances, the Greek Cypriots, obviously, because we don't want the Turkish army to be there, all right? We all know that. Everyone knows that. We haven't got an issue on
Can I just
paper
ask why you don't want the Turkish army there? Just out of curiosity.
because a lot of people have lost their homes. It's to do with that, okay? What happened in 1974 was a catastrophe, basically. It
Yeah,
was.
but why did they lose? My friend, why did they leave their houses? But why? Like Turkey had to step in.
That's
The Turks were getting
understandable.
slaughtered.
They had to protect the minority. I know
Yeah,
that. I
that's
know
right.
that.
The Turks were getting slaughtered, my friend. So
Yes,
so
but
Let me give a
what are
different
you going to do?
Even
scenario
if there
then.
is reunification, there still has to be some kind of treaty in place
of course. I mean,
in
like,
terms
I'm
of
for.
military
I'm.
protection for both communities, because there's a lot of fanatics on the island,
Of
Look,
and
I've got
course,
anything
of
another.
can
course
pop
there
up at
is.
any time.
Let's
I
put
mean,
another
I know, it's not
question.
ideally,
going to happen
I've said it
overnight.
before when I've joined the live. Ideally, I would, in an ideal world, I would like to see things how they were before. You know, both sides coexisting and living together. But we do need a treaty similar to the 1960 treaty. There's no other choice, because there are a lot of people, unfortunately, who harbour a lot of hostility.
You know
I
what?
think if there is to be a federal,
A lot of
if there is to be a
hostility.
federal solution, I'm for a federal solution. Okay, you know, this sounds like a joke. Okay, I think people will laugh, but when the Annan plan was made and everyone voted, do you know how many public holidays Cyprus would have had? I mean, that's not the reason why I voted or anything like that, but it had the most public holidays in the world. 36 public holidays in the year. All right,
They already don't like working
36
in midday,
paid
mate.
public holidays. Okay, but that's not an excuse to have a what do you call it? A reunification. But if you have a federation state, it's going to take time. It's going to take a length of time for any army to leave. It's not going to happen overnight. You can't just sign something and say, "Hey, we've got a country again."
Look,
It's going to take a long
I
period
don't
of
mind the
time.
Greek army being there. Like, I actually
The
don't.
army has to be present.
No, but listen. No, but let me. But allow me to just explain that without just saying that. No. Allow me
Can
to.
I say something? Because
Please,
Master, you've
Maria,
spoken.
Maria. When I said that though, I don't want it just to be.
But you've
Maria,
been
just one,
speaking for a very long time now.
I don't want to. I know that. No, I will stop. But I don't want to say something so controversial and then not explain my point. If that's okay. Sorry. I just want to say the reason I'm saying that is because I believe in protection for all. I believe in protection for the GCs also. Now, I don't want any country in the world to have nuclear power. I don't want it. But you all know what happens when they get one. As soon as they get one, they become untouchable. It's not that anyone's going to use it. It's just that they need it. Now, doing away with
How
that.
do you know no one's going to use it?
You
Mankind
don't
has
know,
used
but
it before.
unfortunately, look, Pakistan have got
Mankind has
one.
used it before in Hiroshima
Yes,
and
Hiroshima,
Nagasaki.
Nagasaki. I know this, but what I'm saying to you is this: the point is, why do you think they're invading Iran right now? Because they don't want them to get one. Pakistan's got one. If they didn't get one under that secret notion, they would have been invaded a long time ago. As soon as you have one, it's a deterrent to war.
You're buying
Now,
into the narrative.
we're
that's
too
being
small
fed.
to protect ourselves against the world. Cyprus cannot protect itself against the world. So let's all get rid of all armies, every single one, and then let the IDF come over and wipe us all out then. Yeah? Like, use your head, guys. Like everyone needs security.
But who
Yeah, you all live in a
invited?
house.
Hold on. Who invited the IDF?
No, but who invited
Right
the
wing, no,
Turks?
right,
Who's inviting the Greeks? It's all the
right
same
wing
thing.
members of the South, and we all
Yes,
know the reason why.
but what I'm saying
We
is,
all know the
where
reason
is your?
why.
Look,
I'm
you're
going to be
okay.
frank. I'm going to
You're,
be frank. There's a
be
lot of
frank.
people
I'll be
who
Jenny.
have the same mentality as Cyprus migration. Okay,
Yes.
Cyprus migration and individuals like him
Mhm.
basically want help from their new Gumbaro, right?
Yeah, but he's a
They are
troll.
hoping
He's a troll.
that their new Gumbaro will help Nikos Sampson's plans through to completion.
He's a
That's the
troll.
only right. That is the only reason why they invited their newfound friends. That's the only reason, because they
Who
want them
is
to be a match. They want them to be a match to Turkey.
who
That's
is
all
the
it is.
GC security? Answer that for me.
Greece.
Right.
Greece is
So,
their
so you
security.
don't have a problem with them having a Greek army on their side, do
Of
you?
course not.
That's all I
Of course
said. I
not.
don't know why I got bad. Go on, Maria. Go on,
Can
Maria.
I give you the reason why we don't want the Turkish army in Cyprus?
Of course you can.
Can I give you the reason? Because you're saying this over and over and over again. Because during the invasion, or I don't know, the liberation you call it, all right, they've committed war crimes.
Yeah,
On
how
both
about you guys
sides.
against
There
the
was war
Turks who
crimes on
slaughtered the
both
Turks?
sides.
They've
Yeah, but you,
committed war
so
crimes.
you Cyprians didn't commit the same crime against the
I'm
Turks?
talking about the Turkish army now.
What's
Well, you would
Netanyahu?
well, you would
What's
talk about the
Netanyahu
Turkish
doing?
army.
I'm
You would
talking, yeah, I'm
do.
talking
You're
about
not
the
being
Turkish
fair.
army.
You're not being
Yeah,
fair. There was 3
They've
villages where
committed
there were
war
massacred
crimes. They
alive.
were
Turkish
executing
Cypriot,
people and not taking prisoners. They were
It's
raping
one-sided. You see, this is what I'm
women
talking
and
about, people.
children
This is
and
exactly what I'm talking
everybody.
about. Selective
And
sympathy, one-sided.
Yeah, but
they
Maria, a
were
lot of Turkish Cypriots were unalived by Greek Cypriots
There
as
was,
well.
but she
There's
unalive.
war crimes there as well,
Unalived.
Maria.
You're using
Like,
this terminology you're
this is
using is
why
amazing. Unalived.
we can't say the K
So
word. We
Nikos
can't say the K
Samson,
word. We're on
Nikos
TikTok.
Samson was a figment of our imagination. Is that what you're telling us? El Kabi
Unalived.
was a
And
figment
you're
of our
talking about
imagination.
nuclear.
It was
The
psychosis.
nuclear.
It was
Maria, you're just
psychosis.
a
We
very,
imagined the
very
whole thing.
pessimistic
We imagined
lady.
the whole
The
thing.
Everything
nuclear
you've said
lollipop.
tonight
We
is
were
like the
going through
world is going to
psychosis.
end, my love. Like, you need to find a little bit of optimism in your conversational skills because they're very negative, very
But
negative.
it's not just
See
that.
the hatred,
There's
see the hatred
there's
against the Turks is coming
information.
out.
There's information. The information is out there for those who wish to discover it. How could you sit there or whatever it is you're doing behind your screen and say that it's just one-sided? Both sides have suffered. Both sides. People have lost
Exactly,
families, loved ones, livelihoods on
100%.
both sides. And this is where we go wrong. We need to start acknowledging each other's pain. We have to. There's no other choice. Our future is together, whether we like it or not.
I
Whether
agree.
we like it or not, our future is together. You can bring other regional players into the equation, but they have their own personal agenda. They don't give a damn about Enosis. They don't give a damn about Migali Idia. They have their own nationalistic agenda for that region.
Well, obviously, you know when they always say 74, 74, 74, but there was a build-up before 74. That's why the Turkish army got there. Because enough was enough. Because if they didn't get there, end of the day, there would have been
And there's other
we would have
regional
been wiped out.
players. Master G, there's
It
other
would
regional
have been like
players.
Palestine. It
People
would
are
have been like
forgetting.
Palestine.
Jan, me and you are not. Me and you are not.
Forgetting
What the
China.
Israelis are
People are
doing to
forgetting
Palestinians,
Russia.
I don't. 1 minute. Everyone, just 1 minute. Jan,
Hello,
what have I said?
Hello,
Sorry that you
No, not
disagree with.
you. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think
Okay, because
everyone
the
on
way
the panel,
you pointed it.
everyone.
Go
No,
on.
I'm just because you were talking, so that's why I addressed you because you were.
That wasn't
talking.
me. That was Butch just talking.
Oh,
Just
was
now.
that Butch talking?
Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
apologies.
Sorry
My
about
apologies.
That's
But
okay.
the point I'm
Forgive me.
making is that I personally feel everyone on this panel has made valid points. Everyone, and we can all take something away from each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all we do
But
is
we
all I
do
said.
need to acknowledge each other's pain. I don't like all this
I know, but
one-sided
that's all we
victim
do.
mentality. I don't like it.
I just can't
Everyone's
stand the
suffering.
Do you
pain.
know what it is, John? I'll tell you what it is. They need to start their homework from their houses, like from their homes. They've got to stop brainwashing. They're still teaching stuff in school about 74, but they don't teach the kids what was the build-up before 74. There's a lot of brainwash going on. still in the south. This is the problem. They need to change the whole of their education system because the kids are growing up and
They need to
they're
stop hating
learning.
Turks, full stop. They need to stop hating us.
This should stop. If this can stop doing it, maybe then we can put something.
We
in
don't
place.
teach our kids. We don't teach our kids to hate shit. No, listen. We don't teach our kids in primary school to hate
Hustler.
Greeks.
Never,
Cypriots.
ever Turks
We
ever
don't do that.
Ever.
We absolutely do not do that. But the Greek side do. They hate us. Full stop. And the Turkish army is not leaving. Full stop.
No, they hate
It's just a
Turks.
shame. It's such a shame. It really
get that
is.
point out
It is
there.
a shame.
Like, they hate
Such a
You know, it's
Turks.
not everybody.
It
You know,
really
it's
is a
not
shame.
everybody.
It's they're a minority.
No, definitely.
The fanatics
By the
are
way,
a minority,
we're
but they're
talking
very
about
loud.
the government. We're talking about the government and the system here.
And
not
they
each
have a strong
individual people.
foothold. They worm
You know,
themselves into the government realm.
Yeah, but
into
can
the
I just
political
say
realm.
something? Do you
not the
really think
people.
that we need to acknowledge each other's pain because we put so much effort into where we all feel pain that we don't look at how a brighter future can look?
You need to make peace with your past in order to
agree with
move
you.
forward. You have to.
Yeah, I
You have
get
to.
that. But if there's no
Yeah, but-
making peace,
But they have Eoka
does that
Day.
mean it can't be
How
done?
can they have Eoka Day. They have these mad sort of celebrations, man. We
Listen,
see it all on these social
I'm not
media.
sitting here standing up for some things that I also disagree with. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna advocate for good, innit? Yeah? Like at the end of the day, we're okay because we have protection from Turkey, okay? The ROC has protection from all the many countries that came to them, and I know they've made an alliance with Israel. The idea is this: all those who are Cypriots should be compensated for their losses at 100%, okay? And all those that are Cypriots should be able to move freely on the land. At the moment, I don't believe that us going over there and them coming over here is a true reflection of togetherness. I don't believe that. I know some ain't gonna like that, but I see that as a segregated togetherness. Everyone still has their side of the island with their laws in place intact to still go back to. You know, living under one rule is a very hard thing to do. I think what needs to happen is recognition for both sides needs to happen. Certain rules need to be put in place. Certain securities need to be put in place, and then all can move freely. And that should be how it should be.
Master, you're right. You're 100% right. But their government needs to change, bruv. Do you understand this?
Well, look, their
system.
curriculum for sure.
Bruv,
If they're
they need
teaching
to
hate,
change.
definitely.
Even in the army, man, they're chanting out to hate Turcos, man.
I get it. I'm not saying it's not right.
Do you know
I'm
what I'm saying,
I'm
bro?
not saying they're not doing that. I don't know, innit? I'm taking your word for it.
You'd
Like, I don't
never
know.
see that in the Turkish army, ever.
Yeah, I hear you.
Not just Greeks, anybody who's against
You
the
do-
Turkish
do
army
you-
just don't do that.
I have a question. I have a question for you. My Turkish Cypriot friends here. Do you do national service in the north?
Yeah. Of course we do.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
But they don't
I-
teach them how to hate, on the opposite side.
I've
the army don't
done my
chant
national
out.
service. I've done my national service a long time ago, and we were never taught to hate. I'm being honest here.
That's good.
Okay. Well, that's good. Maybe your captain at that time was more probably soft or whatever. But we see it and I hear it. Even some of my,
Could
GC
you
friends of
imagine
mine, they
Greek
say that.
Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots doing the army together? How much camaraderie that would build between two people? Can you imagine what
Oh,
that
that'd
would
be
do?
amazing.
Can you
That'd
imagine?
be amazing.
Can you imagine
Trust
the
me.
camaraderie that
Both
would
people
build?
come together.
I was a doorman for 8 years in Hackney.
Yeah, mate.
And I tell you this now, the people that stood the doors with me became like brothers. And it ain't nothing like an army, but it's you're back to back fighting left, right, and center. And that person becomes our brother. And that is just a weekend flex, So
Yeah, this might not be a nice thing to say, but do you think there could ever be a common enemy that could unite the two?
I think we already have one, but I think the ROC
We just don't know it
not
yet.
acknowledge it. You know who I think that common enemy is, bro. I think it's
that
the
was
I
the biggest
country.
mistake. That was the biggest mistake that Cyprus and Greece go and shut.
That's what nationalism does to people.
But
Blind
what's
They
nationalism,
are
ultra
blind.
nationalism. You can't think straight. You just can't.
what
Every nation has a degree of
100%,
nationalism in
man.
them. Every
That
every
pushed
nation.
back another
But
10,
when it
15,
comes to
20 years.
politics, you have to move with skill and wisdom. But I
True.
don't know how much of that you can achieve if you're an ultra nationalist. That's the
True.
problem.
Here's
100%.
another, on the back of what Jan's saying, here's another question for the Turkish Cypriots. Do you have it in you to call out nationalism in your own people?
Of course. Of course.
Yeah,
Do you think many
you
do?
can.
Well, there's ultra nationalists among the Turkish Cypriots, most definitely. But
Do you think
again,
they're,
they can't think straight.
yeah, but do you
They
think they're
can't think
called
straight.
out?
They can't think logically
Yeah,
because logic goes out the window.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree.
But that applies to everyone, all
It
across the
doesn't. No, you're
planet.
right.
Show me
100%.
one nationalist that went down well in history. Show me. Mussolini, look what happened to him in the end. Look what happened to him in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of the nationalists will survive long anyway. They all go down like the hills, mate. I tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
saying there's nothing wrong with it, like your own sort of idea of nationalism, but in the government it doesn't now, mate. It doesn't bring you anywhere. It doesn't bring you know.
the truth is,
Doesn't
if you
sort
could
no
all
problems.
rub a magic genie right now, and the one wish you had, and you had to make it, or you get no wish, yeah, was to bring Cyprus living in harmony with no hate, no racism, no pain. I guarantee you'd all make that wish. Do you know what I
You
mean?
know what? I had a lot of thing with Erdogan, and I thought Erdogan was going to be the one to do everything. He was going to campaign a lot of things. But as soon as, you know, the Republic started signing deals and alliance with the devil, mate, I thought another 10, 15 years, that's put back Cyprus issues. They ain't getting anywhere, bro.
I think we've
Just
still
think
got an
that person that...
opportunity though, Butch, because at the
I
moment
hope
the
so.
fox
I
is
hope so,
circling
bro.
the hen house.
But
We
I
haven't
can't
let
see
him in.
it.
We haven't let the fox in the hen
Sophie,
house yet. You know, it's
Soph,
just
I'll
circling
be
right
honest
now.
with you, I can't see it, bruv. I keep saying that to myself, but I cannot see it, bruv. I really can't, man. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope something does happen, but I really, really can't see it. I think this has made even more of a bigger mess.
Something is going to happen, man. They're barking now. This is the problem.
Well, I hope so, but
They're all
I don't know,
barking at each
bruv.
other now. Do you know what I mean?
I know Esir Tatar didn't do, he didn't, he tried, but he didn't do a lot for the 4 years in power. But I thought maybe Erdogan, and being a left-wing party, but I don't know, mate. I just think this whole thing is just going to be a waste of time. Cyprus is going to be put on hold for another 10, 15 years, mate. No
That's because
solution,
of
mate.
Israel, mate. David, that's because of the politicians who aligning
Yeah,
with Israel.
I know. 100%, I agree with
That's the
you.
problem.
It is the
They're
politicians what I'm
poking the
talking
bear,
about.
mate.
I'm
They're
not talking
poking
about
the
the
bear.
people.
Turkey's not going to put up with this, mate. So if they get close to Israel, I'm telling you now, Turkey won't put up with it.
I know we've spoken about this before, guys, and I've asked the Greeks as well. But do you really think Cypriots had a choice in this matter with Israel?
I don't think they had. I don't know. I don't really want to let them off the hook that easy. Firstly,
Yeah, but why doesn't the public say something about it? The people say something about it, like we don't want Israel here.
I think most
Why
people
don't
do.
they?
Most people
yeah,
do.
but I think you have to
next
evidence that,
election,
Sof. You have
the
to
next,
evidence that.
the next election, he's not gonna win. All right, our president's not gonna win. I'll tell you that now. All right,
Look,
a lot of people don't want this
The
involvement with
problem,
Israel.
Mark, is even if he doesn't win, he'll be replaced with someone exactly the same. That's the problem. That's what's been going on for the last 50 years.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I think, Sof? Me personally, I think the people are scared. It's like that sort of Cypriot mentality. Oh, my family, my uncles, all my whole friends is always voted for that same party. Do you know what I mean? And what if I go against that party? I'm going to be a fucking traitor.
What do Cypriots know about Israel? They're backed by America. They're backed by most powerful countries right now. Who are we as Cypriots to go against Israel?
No, but hold
Yeah,
on.
but you don't have to go against Israel. You always talk
I know,
about
we've got other options.
EU protecting me. You got EU protecting. There you go. You're giving your France a base. Why
You've
didn't
got
you go
other
cry
options,
to
but
you
you
and
need to
say, "Oh,
understand,
Israel
like
threatened"?
you said a minute
You'll
ago,
go against
Turkish
Israel, but
Cypriots
you will go
are
against
protected.
Turkey, but you won't go against Israel.
You're protected too
Like
from EU.
this is like it's a little bit of a cop out that one stuff. I gotta say that.
I
I'm
don't
sorry,
think Cypriots will ever go against Turkey. No,
but they already
I
do.
don't believe they
Like
would.
But
listen.
the alliance was made when Israel said openly, "The next is Turkey," and the very next week you went and shook hand with Israel. Nothing to do Israel attacking
Yeah, but do you understand that
Cyprus.
this was planned by Israel, not by Cyprus?
Look.
Yes,
So
why you don't why you have to vote for
when
it?
Tata was in power, and we said, the people they want to see a certain form of togetherness, BBFs. That no one's going to agree with that because the answer would be, well, you voted Tata, who was pro two-state, and now he's going on tour. The same needs to be. For the same standard has to be set for the Greek Cypriots. You can't just say sweeping statements that, I don't think we really want that. That has to be evidenced and proved, and that means that when the next election comes in, there should be someone that can stand against that. And if that is the person who gets the vote, then yeah, we can agree. I think making sweeping statements that, now we don't really want it, it's a way to wriggle out of a bigger problem. And that within the discussion, that is.
On the other hand,
Yeah.
you're talking about is the ROC siding with Israel. You also notice something else, which is a bit weird, and I'm saying that from my side, is that the fact that the ROC is also siding with the Palestinians, and that sounds really crazy. All right, but Cyprus still has in their veto in the United Nations. They've stated several times that they recognize the state of Palestine. All right, I think it was recently they had some kind of referendum, not referendum, a vote in the UN about about the West Bank, about situation with what's happening against Lebanon, and the
but I think the alliance with Israel spits in the face
against
of that. Come on. It spits in the
Something's-
face of that. Like, let's be honest.
something's
Look,
fishy going on.
no, it's not fishy. What it is at the moment, I'm only going to talk about the current government, okay? The current government side with Netanyahu. End of story. For all good purposes of saving face, they may stand for Palestinians, okay? Because they can do. There's nothing to ruffle them in order to challenge that stance, okay? But when you do that and then say we're gonna rub shoulders with Mr. Netanyahu.com, that is a spit in the face of the other. That outweighs the former. Do you see what I mean? So I don't think it's not that it's fishy. It's just that the other one's just for good face, and their real intentions, or the current government's real intentions, is Israel. It's not Palestine. Because if you stood for Palestine, you wouldn't break bread with Yahoo. You know that.
Well, it's all economics, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, look, the ROC get government grants, yeah, for the apparent occupation of the North, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. There's also and by doing that, they allow the borders to be open. They keep certain things moving in a swift way. That doesn't mean that they got any love for Turkey. It's self-preservation. Do you know what I'm saying? So if there's proof in that, then the proofs are always in the actions, right? There's no, so really and truly, that being said, I think that they do have respect for Turkish Cypriots, but they don't like Turkey. I think they do have respect for Palestinians, but they're going to side with Israel more because it suits them more financially right now. And I say they, I mean the ROC government. But someone else should come in.
Can I ask you a hard question? Earlier you said that you think that the Greeks are pushing the Turkish Cypriots away towards Turkey.
No, I just said their sanctions are favouring Turkey as well.
Yeah, sorry, paraphrasing. Yeah. Do you not think that Turkey as a country is pushing us towards Israel?
That's a good question. Let me think about that. Are they pushing? No, it's a good question. Are they pushing you towards Israel?
Why wouldn't Turkey have come to make a deal?
I think it's a stretch. I think you might have pulled a hamstring with that one because it's a little bit of a stretch. Yeah, but
go for it. Let's see what you can do with it. Go.
But I don't think that was ever really even a plausible option, because think about the people they're in a battle with. They're in a battle with someone who doesn't like occupation, yeah, i.e. Turkey, from the Greek Cypriots perspective. They're never going to sit there and think to themselves, but they're going to go and accept another occupier, are they? So
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's a
that's the
similar
threat.
thing. Like, you could have said Turkey could have come to the ROC. Number one, recognize us. Number two, say you're our neighbor. Let's make a deal. Let's make some sort of
I think
pact. You know?
Turkey's not bothered by Israel. That's the problem. They're not bothered. Turkey are happy as it is. They're happy that the island is divided. That's how it seems to me. On all the research I do, Turkey is happy with the current status quo. They like Cyprus being cut in half. They like having their half. They like running through, and it's like Epstein's Island for them. I've said it before. You know,
So safe to say that maybe Turkey has pushed us towards Israel.
No, I think you're finding excuses for your own bad actions, bro. I think you're smarter than that, bro.
I'm speculating.
No, I think it's more for the audience.
Maybe you know me. Maybe you know me by now. Maybe you know me by now.
Yeah,
It's been a
I
while.
think I think that's unfair. I don't think they've got a part to play in that. Look, you know me, I live in Britain, and I stand with Britain on a lot of things because this is my home. But I don't stand with them on their alliances in the world. Don't get me wrong, fuck me. We're arguing about Cyprus's alliances. I mean, England's definitely going to align with America and Israel and all that have you. And I fucking hate it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's disgusting. There's no sense of humanity left in politics. There's no sense of, don't sit here in one breath going, oh, they're all being unalived over there, and then start breaking bread with the geezer who's doing it. Yeah, I think it's dreadful. You know what I mean? Like, I get that what happened in 74 hurt the GCs. I completely understand that. And it not because, like, I'm not talking like their egos. I'm talking it actually hurt them physically. Do you know what I'm saying? As Turkish Cypriots were hurt before that, but since then, there has been peace. Yeah. And that is the truth of it. How do you get past this? You got to move together at looking at a solution. There's no way.
This is why I asked the Greek Cypriots earlier if they'd rather align with Turkey or Israel, because if we had that choice 2 years ago,
yeah,
I don't know. I think Mac Mark kind of answered it. He said, better the devil you know. So if we had that deal with Turkey 2 years ago, this deal with Israel may never have happened.
That's
where
Turkey.
I'm trying to go.
I would love Turkey to recognize the ROC, yeah, and start formulating their own endeavors. But
What's stopping them? What's stopping them?
That's what I'm saying. Turkey like
Turkish
this.
rights stopping them. They can't recognize half a country.
No,
What do you
Turkey
mean?
likes this though, Ken.
Republic of Cyprus.
Yeah, but
is
this addition is just going to get Cyprus into trouble.
You're breaking up.
Sorry, guys, I don't.
And
I don't
you sound like
understand.
you're on the Artemis, bro, circling the moon. That phone line's gone crazy.
Republic of Cyprus.
He's on the dark side right now.
Yeah.
Republic of Cyprus involves Turkish Cypriots. Without Turkish Cypriots, Turkey can't recognize Republic of Cyprus. There's no way.
Sounds like a bit of a
Yeah,
catch.
that's true though. That is true. He ain't lying
catch.
about that.
It's a catch, though, Ken, because you're asking for recognition for the North, right? Isn't that a
But
similar situation?
That's another matter, born out of the problems what we got. And we were trying to solve the problem in 1976, and Greek Cypriots wouldn't accept it. They didn't accept until they always said the Turkish Cypriots are
Ken's
minority.
right. Ken is right. I got to stand down on that one. Ken is actually right. I got to take that one back.
I'm sorry, Master Gas, but
no, don't be sorry. You're right, innit? Right is right.
The minute Turkey recognized Republic of Cyprus,
No, you're right.
then he has to pull out of Cyprus
It's true.
because then he'll done away with Turkish Cypriots, right? That's
But
it.
don't you agree though that the sanctions wholeheartedly favor Turkey?
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Well, that's what the history showed us. With Turkish Cypriots know this all along, but the Greek Cypriots didn't. They thought they were punishing us.
Yeah.
That's the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
But how is it in favor for Turkey when Turkish Cypriots are sanctioned?
Because
Turkey using Cyprus like a dirty cloth, like a dishcloth, right? Turkey making a lot of money out of Cyprus. Cyprus, one of the countries in the world then you can go and buy a house in Cyprus for £500,000 and no one asks where the money's come from. Right? It's a simple fact that Turkey makes a shitload of money out of. You can go, you can show up in Cyprus tomorrow and buy a house for £500,000 and pay for it all in cash. And the person will take that cash, he goes to the bank and deposits it. No one asks where it's come from.
True.
Right?
But don't you have government rules?
Sorry?
Remember, it's the unrecognized land in the whole world. What rules?
It's nothing to do with
Yeah, I get what you lot are saying.
It's Turkey's rules.
I get what you lot are saying. It's literally an offshore little island.
It's the Cayman Islands, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we have,
Even less regulation. Yeah.
we have to make our living some way. We have to pay. You know, Turkey supports it. Turkey used to pay us about $1 billion a year until Erdogan got into power. Once Erdogan got into power, they cut it down. Now they're giving us like $500 million because we were making money out of the casinos and the whorehouses and money laundering. As simple as that. You know. So the sanction helped Turkey. Turkey's making a lot of money out of the economic zone of Northern Cyprus.
Yeah, but without sanction, that was the same happening in ROC. A lot of people were just buying house without showing even fake IDs, getting their passports.
Until they got into the euro.
Yeah.
No, that
But
was
also,
still in Europe, golden passport scheme.
Yeah, but they had to stop that.
That was
didn't they?
illegal.
Because of
Yeah,
Europe.
they got caught and they stopped it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. But who's to catch anyone on an unrecognized island?
Yeah, but
Do you
you're saying you
understand?
unrecognized island, but you're also saying you have a president and country
Yeah, but we're
and
not doing
regulations.
it, John. We're not doing it
Self-recognized.
underhandedly. It's in our laws, right? No one is asked. They don't care where the money's coming from. There's no law against it, right? It's not because we're unrecognized. It's just saying, well, you got the money, put it in the bank. That's it. Don't put it under your bed.
You got to remember, Turkey's in on that island is the Turkish Cypriots. Okay, they had it. It was annexed from Britain, and then you all know what happened when Britain gave it to the Cypriots in 1960. Turkey's in, although I honestly believe their intervention was an intervention and lawful, and I'm bloody thank God for it. Yeah, but that's another topic. At the end of the day, that is their in. They are protecting a people. But while you sanction the North and keep it unrecognized, Turkey's like, beautiful. We just get to go on even more like this with another land.
I think what you're saying, Mustafa, you're getting nearer to the truth after 2017, right? Up to 2017, Turkey were ready to do what is necessary to get to the point BBF, right? And at 2007, people are not talking about this, but 2017, Turkey said this is the last time we're going to have a sit down and discuss about Cyprus. So you better come to some sort of conclusion. Otherwise, we're going to go to plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever it is. And Greek Cypriots laughed at us.
Yeah, I just can't stop laughing what Theo said on the comment.
There's shitloads of money.
He said, imagine how much we could have laundered if we were
but
United Island.
I heard there's a lot of money to be made in the ROC. I heard that if somebody owns a house that's worth £2 million and that person passes away and he only owes £30,000 to the bank, then the bank don't sell the house for £2 million. It goes to auction for 30,000 and someone ends up buying that, a £2 million house for 30,000 quid. I don't know how true that is.
What? Where's that deal?
Someone was telling me that the other day and I was thinking, hold on a moment.
Where is that?
In the ROC.
What, does it have to be a family member?
Well, obviously you've got to have identity and be a citizen, innit? But I'm just saying, like, imagine that. There's bread to be broke left, right, and
I'm
centre
not
over
sure
there.
that's true though.
Mate, listen, I'm just giving second-hand information, innit? I don't take me for gospel. It's what I got told by someone who's living there. But my point is, even ROC is still like what 5% taxes and things like that. It is a little bit of a tax haven. The ROC. Trust me, you don't need to come to the north to break this bread. They've got their own bread getting broke over there.
North is not tax haven.
No, it's definitely
nothing to do with tax haven. North is just money laundering, basically, right? But legal money laundering, there's no law against it.
Yeah.
Right? So just do what you want.
I mean, if you want to launder money, you can launder money anywhere in the world, to be honest. It doesn't matter north, south, east, west.
No, not really.
Even in the UK.
There's some other places, but yeah.
How are you going to launder money in the UK? You're talking about 100 quid.
Not 100 quid, millions.
Well, how?
Well, I recently saw a car.
Don't grass
Number
yourself,
plate
Jan.
was
Don't
heroin.
grass yourself up on a line. My
Hey,
God.
Dan, I'm gonna have to meet you
Stop.
now.
Stop. Sort your missus out.
Yeah,
She's about to send you both to jail. Yeah.
Family secrets.
And you're gonna have to pick from one of us nice Cypriots to raise your kids. Don't do that. All right?
Yeah, Jan, good point. I'm
Okay.
gonna drop you now, Jan.
Yeah, don't do that.
I think we should start another
No, what I'm
marriage.
trying to
Because
say, you
otherwise,
know,
we're
there's
gonna
like,
get Cyprus migration's gonna have to come and look after your kids. You don't want that. All right?
no, jokes aside, guys. You know, there's mafias going on in the UK. How do you think they get their money? They launder their money, no?
Well, come on, tell us how.
I don't know. I don't launder money. I don't know how they do it.
It's a myth.
It's not a myth. There is mafia.
Only rich people they launder money, but they do it in a way that it's a loophole, right? So they buy. I don't know how they do it, but there's no such a thing. What they must, the other day they were talking about people driving to Turkey. Most Turks they drive to Turkey, right, from Germany and from Britain, right? They don't take the plane. They drive. Why do you think they do that?
Okay, I'll just give you a really simple example of laundering before I get banned. If you go into central London and you go to those souvenir shops and you see that they're paying 50 grand a month rent and there's only about 3 people in there every day.
Or what
and they
about the
seem
9
somehow
Turkish?
popping
What
up
about
and
the 9
surviving.
Turkish barbers in a
Yeah,
row on
the
one
Turkish
street?
barbers who've got 2 customers in there a day. Yes, it's illegal money being funneled to make it legal, man. I mean, you don't need anything other than a front.
But this just is a shining example of what a great citizen Ken is. All right, everyone.
I think you're presuming, so you don't know for sure.
That's the rumor.
Ken's getting the tax man off his back. Good tonight.
This is being recorded, so I
Money
definitely
laundering going on, not is in this country. They'll make the money in this country and they take it somewhere else.
No, they do a lot in here.
They make a lot in here and they take it for somewhere else.
So can I ask a question to the Turkish Cypriots? I've got a question for the Turkish Cypriots. Would you rather be an independent state or be part of Turkey? 82nd state.
Independent state.
Independent state all day long.
That's not a question at all.
Yeah, you're asking for annexation, which I don't think any Turkish Cypriot is after.
I reckon Northern Cyprus should just be part of Turkey, and that's it.
Nah, see that, but that's a nationalist perception. You can't.
But who would want to be part of another country? Everyone wants independence.
Yeah.
And that.
I'm just having some banter. I'm joking. Cyprus should be united. Yeah, that's what I believe.
People who says TRNC should join Turkey is they don't know nothing about Cyprus. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Ken. I agree with you, Ken. I can't
We Turkish Cypriots, we don't want to be part of Turkey. We can call ourselves Turkey.
Why not? Who's protecting you, man? The Turkey's protecting you guys.
Yeah, but bro, does that mean if you see someone down the road?
The Turkish army just mate, the Turkish army just left overnight. I'll tell you what would happen to you guys, mate.
You know,
Are you from Australia? Are you
alive?
Listen, you live in Australia?
Yeah, I'm in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'm from Turkey originally.
Do you know USA protecting you? Yeah. Your biggest protector is USA. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So
England.
you'll be happy to be part of United States then, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Why not?
Oh,
Let me put it another way. And can I put it another way? Enda, let me put it another way. If you see someone who's getting mugged down the street, yeah? Some vulnerable man who's getting mugged, and you go over there and you step in and you help that man. Does that man owe you his thanks for the rest of his life? Or was you doing your part for the world?
It is. You dropped your mic, bro. Just pick that up, man.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
you dropped
Yeah,
that
I
mic
got you.
real good.
No, I got you.
But the
I'm just
thing I
asking.
don't understand.
No, but
Yeah, but the thing I
Enda,
don't
please
understand
answer
about
that if you can. Please answer that if you can before you move on. Are you that kind of man that you want that person to bow down to you indefinitely? Now, I am grateful before you answer.
Of course I don't.
I am grateful to
number
Turks.
one, mate. Look, my friend, all right? My best friend's a Greek Cypriot, yeah? And Greeks, and I've got a bit of Turk. Mate, we used to go nightclubbing. The Turks and the Cypriots used to bash the Aussies up. We always stuck together, all right? So we'll do the same again. But, yeah, anyway.
Look,
Yeah, you're right.
Turkey don't want it either. That Turkey don't want us to lose our identity either. That's the other thing. If Turkey wanted to annex it, they would have. Do you know what I mean? It ain't even up to the Turkish Cypriots. That's why there's a different flag there. I mean, I know what the Greek Cypriots get annoyed with that flag, but ultimately, Turkey just wanted to claim ownership of the Turkish Cypriot people and say, you are just Turks. That's it. Then we would have just had the red Aynen Yıldız, wouldn't we? We would have just had that. It wouldn't have been this our flag. So it's not even a case of it's a bit bad for us sitting here saying that, yeah. When even Turkey ain't asking for that.
I have a question.
All right, then, as a Turkish Cypriot, would you like to see the Turkish army leave Northern Cyprus?
Sorry?
As a Turkish Cypriot, would you like to see the Turkish army leave Northern Cyprus?
No, that's a bit more nuanced. I think that it depends on the given situation. Do I want Turkish Cypriots expose them?
Sorry, Master Gas, but the reality is there's a 52 years peace on the island. It's because of Turkish military.
That's true.
Okay, so we don't want Turkey to leave. We have no problem with Turkey. Okay, but it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, but some Turkish Cypriots do. But the way they're talking, some Turkish Cypriots don't appreciate what the Republic of Turkey is doing to Northern Cyprus. We're actually there going tour, mate.
You can't please everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
The reality.
Yeah.
Look, mate, some people who, identify as a flip-flop, mate. Like, you just got to let people get on with it. Like, you know what I mean?
Look, Northern Cyprus is our Yavruvatan, yeah? It's our child, mate. We would never leave Northern Cyprus.
Yeah, but the problem is that child sometime he needs to grow up. Okay?
You need to let that child free, my friend.
Yeah, that child needs to grow up and have his own identity.
But on the other side, they want to kill us.
No,
they hate us.
Look,
man just went there.
You got to remember.
They want to kill us. You killed it.
I'm trying to shit stir some trouble.
I can fucking tell. But they want to kill us. They want our daughters.
Look, you got to remember in 1963, we hold our own. Okay, they didn't walk all over us. Greek Cypriots, EOK, whatever it was, they didn't walk all over us. Okay, even Turkey left today. If Turkish army leave today, nothing's going to happen, right? We are a fighter. We're not going to be walkover. Trust me.
They have their own army as well. Don't forget
yes,
that.
we have our own.
You know what I mean?
Military.
Turkish Cypriots have their own army. Like,
Yes.
what do you think in 52 years, all the children that went there? I got my wife's cousins commanders in the army. And,
Yes.
and they've even retired. And that's how long it's been. Imagine, younger than me. Like, this is not, they're not that vulnerable. But again.
I disagree. I disagree because people move in packs. They don't move alone. They move in packs. That's why there's so many alliances going on, because the bigger plan is to move in packs, move in numbers.
What does that mean? Moving facts. I don't understand.
Yeah, what's the angle?
Because you're saying that the Turkish Cypriot army can hold their own. Not on their own. They can't.
No, but
they
you
can't.
can
Not
It's
without
impossible.
Turkey.
not to the world. No chance. Who can
Well,
go there?
you mean fighting fighting the world, or I'm talking about Greek Cypriot?
Okay,
Yeah,
so why did they need assistance in the
Sorry?
70s? Why did they need assistance in the
they
70s
didn't
if
have
they
an
could
army then.
maintain, if they could hold their own?
They didn't have an army then.
You know, the trouble didn't start 70s. The trouble started in 63.
Do you know
I'm
every
aware of
man?
that.
Do you know
I'm aware
every
of that.
man
63
on
to
the island, Jan,
74,
is
we
a
were
soldier?
holding,
You
you
know
know,
that, innit?
Nicosia was separated.
I'm not playing down their bravery or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. But,
What are
you
you
know,
saying?
on their own, they wouldn't be able to take on multiple armies.
No, but
Unfortunately.
the island,
Why would we
even that
take multiple armies?
Maria
I'm
said
talking
earlier,
about,
it's a
I'm
small
talking about
country.
against Greek Cypriots. Why would Turkey wouldn't allow us to fight French and Israelis and Greeks and the Greek Cypriots all together? That's silly. That's silly to think that way. And if Turkey leaves Cyprus, so is Greece, so is France, so is Israel. They all have to leave. It's as simple as that.
Well, there's individuals who only want Turkey to leave and want the rest to stay.
Well, they can wish
No
and they
chance.
can whistle. That's
No
all.
chance.
You saw the individuals, the characters that were coming
I
up
know
on the live and talking.
they say the problem Turkey leaving Cyprus, Turkey can't leave Cyprus. It's not up to Turkish Cypriots. It's not up to Greek Cypriots. Turkey's got right to be in Cyprus because they're guarantor power. There is, when Greece says, well, I'm not guarantor anymore, it doesn't work that way. There's a treaty signed. You can't just leave it. You have to agree
Yeah,
to
but
it.
everyone, have you noticed no one discusses the treaty? The only time the
Because
treaty
it
was
doesn't.
discussed was, I remember once before I came onto the live the first time, I mentioned, I put that out there in the comments section, can someone please kindly discuss the 1960 treaty? Before, no one was really discussing that.
They never did.
There was just a blame culture going on, you know, a blame culture. They did this to us, they abused us this way,
You'll
we're the
still get it though,
victims,
Jan. You'll still
you know?
get it. You'll notice when you see a newbie come up, yeah. Watch this, and you'll notice it straight away. Did you all know that the ROC flag was drawn up by a Turkish Cypriot man?
Yes.
And you're just like, fucking hell, what stage are we starting this
Yet
conversation?
they're not
Like, do you know what I mean?
represented. But how ironic, though, they're not represented as
I know,
as
but
part of that flag, unfortunately.
no, it doesn't
Politically,
represent us. It doesn't represent us.
politically,
Well,
politically, how
even
ironic.
emotionally, it doesn't matter. It doesn't represent us on any level. But the point I was making was you have to sort of filter through these lives as to what kind of live it is. So I come up here because you all seem really well versed in what you were saying. You know,
Yeah.
I liked what Mark was saying. I liked what you were saying. I know Sof, Jan, and Ken Enda. I think you came on after.
The only time it
Well, you
turned,
came
the
on
only
after,
time
mate.
it,
If I would have
it
heard
went
you say they
left,
want to kill us, I might have stayed in the comments for a moment. But to be,
the only
honest,
time it went left was when people were talking about war crimes and how it was one-sided. That's the only time the conversation went left. But up until that point, everyone was making valid points. It's only when, you know, there was a
100%.
one-sided narrative going on, a one-sided victim narrative, which there always is when it comes to the topic of Cyprus.
Yeah.
That's where people go wrong. And you know what? When people come and sit on that table, they don't sit as Cypriots. Have you noticed that? The negotiation table, they don't sit as Cypriots. It's
You're 100%
Turkish
right.
and Greek. That's it.
Yep.
They don't sit as Cypriots.
Which negotiating table are you talking about, Joe?
The so-called table for peace and unity and bringing people together.
There is,
That's the table I'm talking about.
yeah, usually there's five, I think 6 with the Republic of Cyprus. That's another entity, right? It's not just Turkish and Cypriots or Cyprus, whatever. There is about 6 different. I think Republic of Cyprus count as another entity. That's the reality.
Another entity?
Yes.
Explain that to me. What do you mean another entity?
Well, the Republic of Cyprus is something separate than the Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots.
No, the point I'm trying to make is that when they come to the negotiation table to come up with a viable solution to the Cyprus question, they're not sitting on that table as Cypriots. They're sitting as a Greek representative and a Turkish representative. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, the Cyprus is Republic of Cyprus. Do you understand?
Are we
No, I
talking
don't
the
understand.
politicians here? Are we
I
talking
think,
about people on the
from what I
street?
understand, Jan is trying to say, Ken,
I understand
when
what
there
she
is a
said.
negotiation table, one
Yeah,
side represents Turkish Cypriots, one side represents Greek Cypriots.
yeah, and then the Republic of Cyprus. It doesn't belong to the Greek Cypriot and it doesn't belong to Turkish Cypriot. It's a separate entity. So you can't sit down on the table as a Cypriot. Only time you're Cypriot is when Republic of Cyprus as one.
So what groups are you saying they are now, Ken? I'm struggling to follow you here. So what? No, I'm just trying to understand it. You know what it is. Ken has done this to me before, where he'll teach me something. No, but he might be teaching me something that I don't know. So
Jan is saying
I want to understand
why
it.
we don't sit down as a Cypriot. There's no such a thing as a Cypriot, right? We haven't earned that right to call ourselves Cypriot.
Why
a
not?
Cypriot,
Why haven't you earned that right? What have you done that's so wrong that stripped you of that title?
Well, how would you call yourself a Cypriot? What is a Cypriot? You explain to me.
Someone that traces their roots back to the island of Cyprus.
Yeah, and your roots come from one from Greece, another one from Turkey.
Well,
Yeah.
supposedly.
What do you mean
But
supposedly?
even that's questionable. Even that's questionable. We don't make me open up a can of worms.
Are you Turkish Cypriot or Greek Cypriot?
I'm Turkish Cypriot.
Oh, simple. Finish. And soft up there, he's a Greek Cypriot. What you arguing? You're arguing about nothing. There is three entity here. They got Turkish Cypriots, Greek Cypriots, and Republic of Cyprus.
Oh, so are you saying that the narrative, whenever, are you talking about on the lives? Or are you talking about in a political forum, Ken?
When John said that we don't sit down on the table as a Cypriot,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But the
Yes, and I
issue is
stand by
between
that.
the issue is between Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's not
You
between
don't. I don't
Cypriots.
think you're fully. Perhaps I'm not wording it properly. I don't know. I don't think you fully understand the point I'm trying to make here. I'm saying, had they approached the Cyprus question as Cypriots,
Who's they first, Jan? So I
I'm
understand.
talking
Are you
about the
talking about
I'm talking
the
about
government?
Cypriots, both Greek Cypriot government and the Turkish Cypriots. Also.
Okay, so you're talking about a political forum, not on these TikTok lives. Okay,
No,
so
no.
go on,
The
continue, because I need to understand you as well. Go on,
Yeah, the
say it.
political
Okay.
entities. Yeah.
Who don't sit down and have these discussions? Go on.
No, I'm saying that's why they haven't come to a viable solution.
Because the two sides are not talking. That's what you're saying.
Are you saying that we don't like Cyprus? Well, then we go around sitting on discussion table as a
But
Turkish
why,
Cypriot. I don't understand the
what
point.
makes you think I came to the conclusion you don't like Cyprus? What are you doing on
Well,
this
I'm
platform?
just trying to understand
If
you.
you never
Jan.
identified as a Cypriot, what are you doing on this platform first of all?
I'm a
On
Turkish
Stop It
Cypriot.
Please platform
I'm a
first of all.
Turkish Cypriot. I'm a Turkish
Oh,
Cypriot.
I think okay, I'm getting it now. I think what you're saying, Ken. I'm not putting words in your mouth.
Jan
But tell
is
me.
saying we should be a Cypriot. And there's
Okay.
no such a thing as Cypriot.
So what Jan, what he's saying is, maybe I'll word it a little bit differently, and it may come across different. He's saying that Greek Cypriots have always been able to identify throughout the world on their travels as I'm Cypriot. It
No, not
separates.
really. Not
Well, let
really.
me.
So there's not Cyprus migration
I
gets.
know, but you keep using him. Please don't, because he's a troll in the highest level. Like
I'm
use a
using him as a
normal.
representative.
No,
of
no, no. He's
nationalists.
not. He's an absolute troll, and wants you out of here.
We do not
and
claim
alive.
migration. Nobody.
Yeah.
claims him.
Like none of them will claim him for
Nobody
sure.
claims him. Not even the
Don't-
right wings. Man.
Yeah, don't share air with him. Like it's different. Like so, what I'm saying is, I get what Ken's saying though. Ken's saying that throughout the 50 odd years, Greek Cypriots, whenever asked, what are you? I'm Cypriot. It allows them to identify separately from Greece, being Greek from Greece and Greek from Cyprus is Cypriot. But where Turkish Cypriots have lived in an unrecognized land, if they were identifying as Cypriot, it wouldn't truly be a true status of them, because the only recognized land isn't the land that they're talking about. So is that what you're saying, Ken?
Well, what I'm saying is there's no Cypriot or Cypriotness, right?
So when you
Okay,
introduce
so
yourself,
you're just banning it completely. You're
Ken,
banning it
can I
completely.
ask you something? When you meet someone for the first time and they ask you, just out of curiosity, where are you from? What's your ethnic origin? What do you say?
Don't say Turkish Cypriot.
So why don't you just say Turkish then? Why do you add Cypriot to the end?
If you don't know the between Turkish and Turkish Cypriots,
No, you don't know. I know the
you,
difference. You don't know clearly
I'm
because
Turkish Cypriot, John.
well, no, because this is the point I'm trying to make.
Why would I
Both
say
Greek
Cypriot?
Cypriots,
Why
Greek
would I
Cypriots
say
and Turkish
Cypriot? Cypriot
Cypriots,
doesn't
in
represent
addition
me.
to having,
They don't know
in
who I
addition
am.
to having a Greek identity and a Turkish identity, there is also a Cypriot identity tied to both communities on the island.
Yeah, I gotta give her
That's
that.
why when you
Yeah,
meet someone for the first time, you don't say, I'm just Turkish and leave it as that.
I
You add
agree.
Cypriot to the end.
I agree with Jan on that.
Same with your Greek Cypriot counterparts.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've had many arguments around this where people just want me to
And
identify
that's
as
the point I'm
Turkish, and
trying
I
to
can't.
make. That's
Yeah,
the point I'm
I
trying
Yeah,
to
but you
make.
know, but you're Turks, but master, you're Turks, mate. Like, why
no,
won't you say,
my
yeah,
origin,
I'm
my
Turkish?
motherland is Turkish, but you know, if we're gonna, you know, put it down on paper, mate, like my parents are from Cyprus, and they go back over 100 years in Cyprus. You don't know
Yeah,
if
but who do
they,
you think?
you don't know if my
Yeah, but who do
lineage
you,
is fully Turkish, though. You don't know it.
Well, mine
Like,
isn't. Mine isn't
well,
anyway.
that's what I'm
I'm not going to
saying.
disclose too much about my heritage, but mine
Well,
isn't.
this is what I'm saying.
Mm.
You know, you don't know that. Like, and I
yeah,
get,
yeah,
I
but
get,
in
I
your
get
heart, yeah, but in your heart, what are you?
no,
I,
bruv.
I'm,
You're a
I'm, I'm
Turk, aren't
proud.
you?
I am
Listen,
proud of
of,
my Turkish roots,
Yeah,
of
definitely.
well, in your
course.
heart, you're Turkish, aren't you?
Actually, in my
Yeah.
heart, I'm fucking British, truth be told, mate. But that's just me. You're talking to the wrong guy, isn't it? Like, I'm the wrong guy.
Well, that's fair enough.
I'm the wrong guy.
This is
Like, to
where
ask that question to.
this is where there's a big difference. This is where I've noticed. There's a difference here with everyone here.
Yeah.
My mother's Greek Cypriot. Okay, she's Cypriot. I use the
Yeah.
word Cypriot. Everybody that I know from the Republic of Cyprus, all right, my Greek Cypriot friends, I'll use that word, all right. I ask them, where are you from, if they're outside the country, and I never hear a Greek Cypriot say that I am a Greek Cypriot. They say they're Cypriot. Even I say I'm Cypriot.
Yeah.
All right. I say that when I'm in the UK. I say that when I'm in Cyprus. I'm Cypriot. I'm actually got two nationalities. The other one's British. But
But you see the problem then, Mark, don't you? This is the problem. The sanctioning of the North has created an identity crisis within the Turkish Cypriot community.
this is
Because
what. Yeah.
yeah, this is the problem. The problem is
I
that,
think it has. I
of
don't
course,
think
it has,
it
because
has.
you're in a discussion about it now, Jan. Do you know what I mean?
But
If it
I
didn't,
think
we wouldn't even
everyone's
be talking
completely
about this.
misunderstood what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry. Maybe I have. And if I have,
I
you have my
respect you,
apologies.
Genuinely,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like I
Okay.
feel like I've been completely misunderstood here.
Please, you have the opportunity to,
Well,
say it
I
again.
tried explaining myself, but to no avail.
Maybe I'm
still
not.
being,
Maybe you're too clever for me.
misinterpreted.
That's not a clever blood. There's no such thing as Cypriot. That's it. Simple.
I disagree. I disagree. If
You
you're
can
going to get to
disagree.
the table, if you go to the table and you're going to have a discussion, I don't mean with politicians here now, so I don't want to confuse anyone. So we're talking the table here amongst ourselves. If we're discussing thing about the Cyprus issue and trying to find a solution, whether it's a federation state or whether it's a separate country or whatever that people want to pursue, at the end of the day, we come from this small island, all right, this tiny island, right, 170 miles long along a panhandle, and it's about what, 60 kilometers
We
wide.
know all that. Come to the point.
But at the end of the day, we're not going to label ourselves. You know, am I going to talk to someone who's Maronite and say, "Oh, I'm a Maronite Cypriot," or if I'm Armenian, I'm an Armenian Cypriot? What about all the hundreds of other nationalities that now claim Cypriot nationality in Cyprus? All right, and I say hundreds. There's loads. So at the end of the day, if you're going to go to the table and say, right, we want to find a peaceful solution out of anything from this, the commonalities from the beginning is someone who is Cypriot. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
my
what I was trying to
my
say.
point of view.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I was trying to say, McMart. That's exactly
I've got
the
every
point I was
respect.
trying to make.
I got that,
I've got
Jan.
every respect. I've got
You did
every
say
respect
that.
for some. I got every respect for someone whose identity is going to be my roots is Turkish Cypriot because they speak Turkish language, a
Yeah,
dialect
but
of Turkish,
what you're missing,
not the
Mark, is
Turkish language. The same with the Greek
And the Greek
Cypriots.
Cypriots, of
can I
course.
just
We
say
have
this?
our own dialect
Of
of the
Yes,
Greek
course.
but there
language.
is an identity crisis, whether anyone wants to acknowledge it or not. Just because you lot on here don't have that, know that there is, because I guarantee you now, there's people listening in now who identify as just Turkish. Okay, and wouldn't that also give you a reasoning that there is an identity crisis if you're going to believe that they are Cypriot?
Right on cue, Jan. Not you girls, the other Jan, Turkish Cypriot Jan. Right on cue, Jan. How you doing?
Very
Right.
good.
Yeah, just talking about people who identify as Turkish.
Oh, is this
Okay.
the new person that's joined?
Yeah, Jan's new, but he's also quite,
John is
he's
not
been
new.
around. Yeah,
He's been
Jan
around.
is new.
Jan's old school.
I'm
Did
new
you
to
just
these
call
lives.
Jan
I'm very
new?
new.
He's just not been here
as
for a
in,
while.
as in just
Yeah.
joined the live. That's what I meant.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting it all wrong tonight, ain't I? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe I can't convey myself properly.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I need punctuations. I need like commas and full stops, if you can please, for me.
You need a footnote there.
Yeah, please.
To describe the line.
My God, it's too strong. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, but I want to make another point. In Turkey, we don't say you guys are like Turkish Cypriot. We say you're Cypriot, right? We say Kıbrıslı mısın? Kıbrıs. You don't say I'm Turkish Cypriot.
Kıbrıslı or Cyprus, it represents a land, right? It doesn't represent identity of the people. Cyprus is the same. Cyprus is just the land.
but it has its own culture, though.
But when you go out,
Cyprus hasn't got a culture. It's the people who's got the culture. Land hasn't got a culture.
But that's what we mean. That's what we
but
mean.
Elam is
when
not
we
even
say that.
Cypriot. It's Greek.
No, I think it's all Turks in the story.
He's had to ruffle.
Even within Turkey itself, depending
They're
on where
all
you come
Turks. Say you're
from.
Turkish.
Holster your
Say
wooden
I'm Turkish,
spoon.
then I live in Northern Cyprus. I'm a Turk from Northern Cyprus. End of story. Done. Finish.
Fair enough. Yeah, but that I can get down with. You are a Turk of Cyprus, yeah?
I'm a Turk
Is that
from
a fair
Northern
statement?
Cyprus,
Is that a fair statement? A Turk
yeah,
of
but you got to
Cyprus.
say Northern Cyprus. No, you got to say Northern Cyprus.
No, but now you're
Yes,
just
so it's not-
identifying the division. What I'm saying is, are you a Turk of Cyprus? Does your lineage come from Cyprus? So therefore, you're a Turk. I can get down with that. I say Turkish Cypriot. I say it all the time. Do you know what I mean? Some will just say that they're Turks, but I just what I'm getting at is, and again, I'm happy for a batting match here, but I think a lot of Greek Cypriots just say they're Cypriot.
Yeah, you got a point there.
But it's the same in Ireland. You don't say I'm from South Island, Northern Ireland, do you? They just say I'm
you're
Irish.
Yeah.
No, you do say you're from Northern Ireland.
No, you don't.
No.
Why?
No, I agree with Jan.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about Ireland and in the UK part, but some part of
Yeah,
UK.
but you know what? You're talking about two people that's recognized to the world. Yeah, that does make a bit of a difference.
What? How does it make a difference when you meet
Because
someone Irish?
you can because they're both recognized, and you say I'm Irish, they'll say, "Oh, what, North or South?"
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you say you're from Cyprus, because North isn't recognized to the world, many people just they just know Cyprus for what they know.
That's what you think. If they talk
That's what
to
I've
you,
experienced.
John, John Haas, can I explain myself to you?
Of course.
Right. This is myself. I said it before on these lives. To me, it's Cypriotness. We should if some reason we become as one country, Greeks and Turkish Cypriots come to some sort of agreement, and we start living it. And 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, we got no problem, and everyone is working, playing, doing whatever they do. And then maybe we call ourselves a Cypriot when someone says, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Cyprus," right? But at the moment, we don't do nothing together. So I'm Turkish
But
Cypriot.
why should you deny your heritage because someone doesn't value you? Like, for example, the international community, you know, they're quite selective, right? And they've put embargoes on Turkish Cypriots. Plain old-fashioned racism, right? But why
International
should
community
you?
doesn't
Why
recognize
should
us.
you? Why should you deny your heritage? Why?
What do you mean deny my heritage? I'm just explaining to you
You can
that
still
I'm
identify as a Turkish Cypriot
well, you just said it
or a
yourself.
Cypriot
They
John,
put
person
why do you want to deny
without,
your
you know,
why
regardless of what the political
they
tableau is.
function
why would you want to deny
Turkish
your
Cypriots,
Turkishness?
not
No, but
Cypriots.
I'm not asking him to deny his Turkishness. I said as a Turkish Cypriot, he can embrace that identity regardless of what the political tableau looks like.
So if you go out there on the street and you tell someone you're from Cyprus, they're automatically going to know you're Greek. How are you going to explain that you're a Turkish Cypriot?
Yeah.
Well, you just turn around very simple and say to them, I'm Turkish
You're going to
Cypriot.
tell
Yeah, but guys, when someone asks me in
you're going to
Australia
tell
where
them
you're
You got to
from,
pull a
you're a
handkerchief out and go
Turkish
night,
Cypriot.
night,
That's
night,
what you're
night,
going to
night,
say to
night,
them.
And then you
night.
give them a history lesson. That
You think
Turks
people are
have
going to
been
want
on
to
that
listen to
island
that?
since the
I think the
1500s.
You're
name
just going to
gives it
basically
away.
say you're a Turkish Cypriot. That's what you're going to
yeah,
say.
but I'm a Turkish Australian. I'm a Turkish Australian. So when someone asks me here, oh, where you from, mate? I go, I'm a Turkish Australian.
So you just completely just bypass Cyprus and go straight to Turkey, is what you're yeah, that's what you're saying, basically. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know where Cyprus is, Ender?
Of course I do. I've got a lot of Cyprian friends.
Cyprus wouldn't even fit into Ender's back garden, probably. That's the size of fucking Australia, mate.
Is there any difference?
Well, we know what you're going to say. Go on, Shine.
Yeah,
Here is the identity difference. There you go.
Here we go. Here's the identity crisis. He's a Turkish Australian. If I was in Nigeria, I'll be a Turkish Nigerian. If I was in fucking Botswana, yeah, I'll be a Turkish whatever, right? If I was in Iceland or Portugal, I'll be a Portuguese Turk, yeah. This is what you gotta get, bro. Like at the end of the day, we are Turks. Whether that rubs you the wrong way or not, I don't care. We're Turks. We'll always be Turks. End of story. Tomorrow, if Cyprus was Tomorrow, if Cyprus was to come under nuclear threat and it no longer existed, and Russia sunk it, do you know what? There'd be no more Cyprus for you to call yourself a Cypriot. But you know what will remain? You still be a Turk. Yeah.
And that, my friends, is what I said about the difference for Turkish Cypriots. Some see themselves as Turks, some see themselves as Turkish Cypriots, because the identity is so intertwined. Whereas with Greek Cypriots, it is just Cypriot, because they try to get far away from being identified as
But you're
Greek from Greece.
stereotyping them. There's
That's not
different
true.
types.
Sorry,
That is true.
I got to push back a bit. It's not, bro.
You can't push back. I'm actually feeding into your narrative.
I can push back because originally I can push back.
Why don't you ask
But you know what? I think Shine got a point there. I just forgot, like, you know, Greeks and Greek Cypriots. There is not a lot of Greeks or the other nationalities plus Greeks around the world. But because of history and Ottoman Empire was so long, like 400 years, and it wasn't long ago. Like we have Gogos Turks, we have like Uyghur Turks, like
Bulgarian
there's
Turks.
a lot of Bulgarian Turks. Like there's a lot of us, and that is recently as well. So there's that is the difference between Greeks and Turks and Greek Cypriots and Turks.
Is it Greek? Greek. I bloody called the guy Greek. So sorry.
Hello, I'm the Greek. Hello, how are you?
The Greeks call us Mongolians, bro. The Greeks call us Mongolians. They don't call us
I'm sorry.
Very Greek.
That sounds so racist.
That's me calling him out sometimes.
So, are you got Greeks?
I don't know why the Greeks call us Mongolians for anyway. We're Turks.
I mean, yeah.
What was the question?
You are Greek, no?
I'm Greek Cypriot.
But why the distinction?
I'm proud to be Greek and I'm proud to be Cypriot.
But that's not my point, bro. Are you? There is a distinction though, and the distinction.
I speak Greek and I have Greek heritage.
Bro, you preface the word Cypriot with the word Greek, and you do that for a reason. Why is that?
Uncle Tony just said we're all Italian, by the way.
I think
Oh yeah,
Maybe they came from Greece.
he always says
I've
that.
got to be honest, yeah. I think you're
He
asking
might
the
have
wrong
a point,
person, though,
actually.
Shahid.
He might have a
The reason I say I think you're asking the wrong person is because you're talking about someone who was raised in England, yeah? We already sort of go back there. If you was to speak to like Theo in the comments, or I don't know if Shisto is, or someone in the comments who lives and stays in, I don't know.
That has that
You know
strong
what Shisto means?
Cypriot
I don't know.
identity, yeah? All right,
Yeah, no,
cool.
who lives there and has
all right, that's
only
fine.
ever
Take
lived
that-
there,
take-
they would
take that
probably
person, Abi.
travel the world as a Cypriot. Do you know
All
what
right,
I'm
that's
saying?
fine. They can do that all they want, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
Take that,
Okay,
take that.
hey, Master,
Take,
I've got
hold on
a
one
question
second,
for you
Abi. I got something to say in response. Take that person, Theo, Mio, and whoever, all of them together, yeah? Ask that person if a random stranger on the street asked him, "Where are you from?" They will say, "I'm from Cyprus." If someone turned around and said, "Oh, so you're Turkish," they're going to turn around and say, "No, I'm Greek."
Yeah, I know that. But the point is how he self.
No.
It isn't about the response. It's about how
I
he
think the name will give it
self-identifies.
away.
It's about how somebody self-identifies, isn't it? So what I'm saying is, I choose to identify as a chicken. Okay, no, I'm only joking. I choose to identify as a Turkish Cypriot. Okay, and you will choose to identify as a Turk. Okay, we've had this discussion, me and you will gladly accept Turk of Cyprus. Okay,
Yes,
yes, okay, you accept that, fair enough, right? But the point I'm making is we have this miniature identity crisis, whether you want to deem it as miniature, because of the division and the lack of recognition throughout the world. And we're talking amongst ourselves as British citizens with that identity attached. I'm talking about people who live there and travel the world. Yeah, what do they see themselves as?
Okay, I get you.
Do you get what I'm saying? So the point is, I don't think there's any identity crisis from the South, because they are, of all the Greek islands, they are just Greek because they are governed by Greeks, political, like country and their status. Whereas South Cyprus is identified as its own country, and that is their golden nugget. So they've always run the world as I'm Cypriot. And I think that Turkish Cypriots, it'd be interesting to ask an actual Turkish Cypriot what they say. They'd probably say Cypriot too, maybe. You know what I mean? It's maybe
you're
a
gonna
good question to ask.
You get a crowd of them that do say that, but then you get the other crowd that say, "No, I'm Turkish."
Okay, here's a question for Turkish Cypriots. Let's say you go recognition tomorrow. Are you gonna call yourself, Cypriot or Turkish Cypriot or Northern Turkish
Can
Cypriot?
you
I don't know.
imagine? I think it would just be straight Cypriot, because
That's a good question.
we're
'Cause
on
I
the
don't
map
know-
now.
I don't even know what I would say at that point.
I think I'd go Cypriot. I gotta be honest.
I'd still be a Turk. I can't even lie to you.
Oh, I know you would, because you're a nationalist, baby.
I'm not a nationalist. Don't do that.
You are.
Don't do that. Oh, don't do that, bro. I'm
Well,
not
okay,
that-
let's put this in the bud. Let's nip this in the bud right now. Are you up for annexation? Turkey just swallowing up the north.
I mean, if as a last, hold on, wait, ask me the
Sorry,
question.
sorry.
Yeah. If it's the only way and if it's the only card left to play, because reunification is off the table, federation is off the table, two states are off the table, everything is off the table, and there's no other option, then I am absolutely for Turkey annexing North Cyprus.
Okay.
I don't think it will ever happen.
You're asking a question, Master Guys. None of the Turkish Cypriots
I think Turkey should just take over the whole island.
Which
Turkey
is
should
what?
take over the whole island. And
No, we can't.
And then you come here and say, I argue with my Greek
can't do
Cypriot
that.
friends.
I told you already,
Obviously.
Enda.
I'm only trying to say the
Holster
politics.
that wooden spoon. Get that wooden spoon and holster it, all right? And put the button on, all right? Go. Sorry, Ken was going to ask something. Ken said I was asking a question, but no one talked.
You're asking a question. None of the Turkish Cypriots talks about it, and you ask any Cypriots, and they'll say no. We don't want annexation.
Actually, they did a,
Yeah, no, of course not.
No, they did a what do you call it? They did a little street reporting, if you want, a sokak reportage. I don't know how to translate that. Yeah, and they went around asking
Street interview.
Yeah, they were asking Turkish Cypriots. This was, I think, probably just before the Annan plan, or whether they think that Turkey should annex Cyprus. And they started asking Turkish Cypriots in North Cyprus. So you can go watch that interview on YouTube. Some people said no. Some people said absolutely they should. So I don't think that's true.
Well, that the people who said absolutely truth. If you listen to their accent, they're from Turkey.
I would also say that there is another nuance there. In my opinion, and it's only an opinion, so don't shoot me down, I reckon that is a difference between a person still holding hope and a person that's lost it. I think that has a big part to play in what someone done. I do think that. You know, because you have to stay hopeful, right, for a brighter future.
Even when you're hopeful, sometimes you're in doubt because of what you see around you, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, God bless you, mate. It was nice to meet you all, and I had a great time, and I was just mucking around here stirring the pot. I love you all.
Good. You're good, bro.
Yeah,
nice one, brother. Be
Nice to
safe.
meet you.
Take it easy, man.
All the best.
Have a good morning.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you.
Have a little mid-morning nap, mate. Thank you.
We got
See you, guys.
Australian.
See you soon, mate.
Bye.
We got Australian escape here, isn't it?
Yeah. No, Escape's a lot more detailed than it.
You will give him a bit of time. He will.
Told you, if you say geopolitics 5 times, Escape will come up. Someone say it. Someone say geopolitics. It can't work. It don't work with me because I called it on. But if you say geopolitics 5 times, he will come. I guess no one wants it.
Geopolitics. Times 5.
That's nice of you all.
We've got the next best thing, Alex.
Yes. Hey, Alex.
Hello, Alex.
I just wanted to say I'm Cypriot. That's what I identify as.
There you go. See?
There we go.
Good night.
Are you Turkish or
gone.
Greek? Turkish or Greek?
Turkish, of course.
Yeah, it's like I said, that's the difference, right? But again, I think it's an interesting point. If it
Alex,
opened
when
up
someone
tomorrow,
asks you where you're from, what do you say?
who?
To
Me?
be honest with you, I'm not going to lie to everyone here. I say I'm Cypriot. I don't say Turkish or Greek.
You don't even mention your English part.
No, I just say Cypriot. Oh no, it depends on what it depends. If it's like someone that's from Cyprus or whatever, you know, like I'm talking Cypriot.
It's the same question with the flag, in it. You see, you look at that picture up there. You got the French flag, you got the Greek flag, Greece, Turkey, and then you got the Cyprus flag. As a Turkish Cypriot, nothing that I don't identify with anything. Then.
Yeah, none of them identifies us.
Yeah.
We've been
Doesn't
left.
identify me as a Turkish Cypriot looking at that.
I have some identity with the Turkish flag. I have some, but it doesn't
With
define
the
me.
Turkish flag, but no, as a Turkish Cypriot, nothing identifies me.
Jan, does the ROC flag represent you in any way whatsoever?
No.
Not in,
Yeah,
not in
or
one bit.
me either,
That
to
was
be honest.
hijacked from us for my whole life. So
Yeah,
that doesn't
that's supposed to
represent
be
me.
Cyprus flag.
Now, do you know what it is? The best way I can put it, yeah? Like, I'm an Arsenal fan, but every time I see a Leyton Orient banner, I'm always tuned in because I grew up around Leyton Way, and I'm always, they just take my eye. And it's like, when I see that TRNC flag, it does the same thing. It's like, it draws me in straight away. Whereas if I see a Turkish flag, it's not really the same impact for me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, to me, exactly opposite.
Really?
Yes.
What, when you see the Leyton Orient flag? No, I'm only joking.
When I see when I see Cypriot flag, I'm saying, what's happening now? It's just don't.
No, I meant the TRNC flag. When you see the TRNC flag,
then I'm interested.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making. I get more of that with the TRNC flag than I do the Turkey flag.
Oh, okay. Apologize.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. No, the ROC flag does nothing. I could literally, it could be blind to it. I could walk past it. It wouldn't arouse me in any way. I wouldn't think about it. Not that it takes much to arouse me, obviously.
Arouse you.
We're talking about flags.
He's a super freak.
Super freak. Talking about flag.
All you need to do is buy Eddie's a fucking atlas, and he's fucking ready to go.
Bash it. All right, there's ladies present. Let's not expose me too much, yeah. No, but that's my point.
How do you feel about the Union Jack?
Me?
Yeah.
Fucking God save our gracious King.
And the rest.
Yes.
Listen, when someone asks me where I'm from, I say Walthamstow.
You
And they
got
go, no, I
lovely,
meant really, like, where are you from? Like, I was like, oh, yeah, sorry, London. No, where are you from? No, England.
you got lovely voice, Master Cat.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to keep you all entertained until someone comes
Yeah.
up with something nice.
You go a long way with that voice.
Yeah, I know. It's
Further
beautiful.
the better.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you.
I do think the ROC flag should represent you guys though as well, and the TRNC one. I think you should have some sort of feeling towards that flag as well, because of the circumstances, the division. But you're still part of that constitution, even though there's a de facto state with with the TRNC flag. To this day, you're still part of the ROC, whether you like it or not. It's a choice not to be part of it.
No, it's not.
It's not a
It is.
choice.
No, I disagree.
No, I disagree.
I disagree.
Yeah, but the constitution's exactly the same as it was in the 1960s. It was never amended.
Man, that ROC flag means nothing to me. Nothing. Nothing.
You're saying that it's never amended, but they done a deal with France the other day. That's, if you read the constitution, that's illegal.
I mean, in terms of amended for Turkish Cypriots, if it's been amended for them for the
Do
ROC,
Turkish Cypriots call any shots in Parliament for that country?
there's 2 seats, I believe, but there
Yeah,
are no.
but they're gathering dust, bro. They're gathering dust. There's
It's
no
not.
one.
It's not 2 seats. About 14 seats.
Oh, is it
about-
14?
Yeah, and 3 ministerial posts, and
There's no vice president as well. That's vacant.
vice
I think
president, and
it goes to
plus-
the Speaker of the House, doesn't it, in Cyprus? Something like that. The equivalent of the Speaker. Someone
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong.
vice president with the vetoing right. That's power. We had the foreign ministry. We had Osman Iraq foreign ministry. Toros was, I think, finance ministry and health ministry, if I can remember it correctly.
Alex,
Yeah.
do you understand from a Turkish Cypriot point of view why that ROC flag don't mean nothing to us? Do you get it?
In what sense?
Well, why would you think someone like me would not identify myself with the ROC flag?
Because you bought into the way the island was divided. So you obviously back the TRNC because of the way it was divided. But if you divide your emotions for a second, look at it from a standpoint of what happened, I see it a little bit different. I see it in the sense that not everyone wanted what happened in the 60s and 70s. I mean, it was one guy with an ideology in a small group that pushed for something, and it collapsed. And then when it collapsed, obviously, when Turkey came, Turkey had the upper hand because the island was in chaos. And then it's just been like that ever since. But if a few decisions would have gone the other way, whereas they'd have come in and said, right, we want to oust the guy that caused the trouble. This is what he did, X, Y, and Z. He was colluding with Greece. He was doing this. He was doing that. We want to reform the government and whatnot. Maybe we'd be having a different story.
But they did, Alex. They as soon as they took over, they tried to reset the government. The Greek Cypriots say no.
Yeah, because he allowed to come back. That's what I'm saying. Makarios was allowed to come back.
Well, he came back, but you can't give back the government that they already hijacked. You can't give them back the government they created in 1963. The Turkish Cypriots off it for 11 years.
Yeah, I know, but in 74, then Turkey and the Turkish Cypriots would have had the advantage.
They'd sit down on the table, they tried to discuss.
Well, they gave them an ultimatum. There's a difference.
Well, no, they didn't give them ultimatum. They went to London and they had umpteen discussion. And Greek Cypriots, they insisted Turks. Why do you think they set up the TRNC? Because they only
I
accept
was
the Turkish
talking about
Cypriot
straight after 74. I was talking
straight
about
after
when they went to
74.
Geneva, and it was
Yeah, they start
and it,
discussing it. They start talking about it, right?
yeah, it was an ultimatum. That's what I'm saying to you. It wasn't realistic what they were asking.
Well, you
It
can't
was like
force people if they
well,
don't accept
it was being done at gunpoint. That's what I'm saying. Effectively,
gunpoint.
Alex,
yeah.
what is the ROC doing? Yeah, to better relations and bring that island
Nothing.
together.
That's two separate things.
It's not.
We're
Though. It's
talking
the same
about
thing.
No, because the first thing is what's led us to the second part of why it's become harder to reunify. As time's gone on, it's become more difficult because more obstacles have been put in the way. So it's two different things.
No, but
It's two different things. I agree with Alex.
Had things been done differently in 74 on both sides, the second thing we wouldn't even be talking about it. So
That's
it's definitely it's two different things.
Can I just ask a question? Alex, do you think the embargo on the Turkish Cypriots is justified?
No, but it was self-enforced. Because he was told, Demirtas was told not to declare the de facto state by Britain and Turkey. Turkey told him not to do it. Turkey said, if you don't declare the TRNC, then you will not have any embargoes. But he still went and done it.
So then what you're saying is, if the TRNC was to make it nationally known, we relinquish the TRNC and we are an occupied people. You're saying that's going to solve things?
In what sense?
Well, we're just reversing what you're saying. I'm just saying, because someone has brought it out before, saying if they'd done that tomorrow, they would get non-stop funding and grants given to them from the international bodies, yeah, supporting the unity. But the problem is what you're saying. This is what the whole point always gets overlooked and missed with that scenario, is that if you don't do that, then you wholeheartedly fall back into the hands of the ROC with the full power, and you're just in a second position as a second-class citizen, which is where the whole problems come from. The idea was self-recognition. It was self-identity. It was to be known as what we are. And unfortunately, there is a separation between us two. I'm not saying two people can't share the island and live in harmony together, but to identify as one power, predominantly as one Greek-speaking religious entity, is unfair, regardless of majority or not, because we should be a protected people.
Well, then we should have argued that in 74.
Who was going to listen? Who was going to listen to you? Who was going to listen to you? We all know the international community are selective and partial. No one was going to listen to you.
Well,
and we're seeing evidence of that as we speak.
Until phase 2, Turkey was actually seen as doing a good thing in Cyprus at the time when they came. It was actually initially recognized as a peace operation, and it was actually very heavily documented that they did a very good thing in coming. But obviously, then it changed because Demirtas wanted to push for things that was unrealistic. So they went to Geneva and sort of gave an ultimatum, which was, honestly, it was really unrealistic. It was never going to get it. And then partition. Obviously, the island was divided.
Yeah, but it's self-determination, isn't it, Alex? It's like, do you understand what I mean? I understand your point. You're not making
Alex,
a
what
bad
was
point.
part 2? You said part 1 was
second phase.
What was second phase?
In August, when they moved out of Gilne, Gerinia.
No, I'm asking because I don't know it. Like,
Phase
I
one
know
and
you told me
phase
before,
two.
but I don't remember it. I'm sorry.
20th of July was to come initially as like the peace operation to obviously end the coup, which Turkey had every right to do. And then obviously, I think it was 14th of August was phase 2. So they went to, I think it was Geneva, sat down for 2 days and gave like a 2-day ultimatum and said, look, this is what needs to be done or we're going to carry on, blah, blah, blah. The meeting didn't go well. And then obviously Turkey expanded further out into Cyprus.
I don't know what you thought the solution would be, Alex, because if I'm really honest, and everyone I think agrees with this, Enosis was way before the 50s. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always been some level. Yeah, always. Like even the riots in 1913 in Cyprus was about this. And this is what we were talking about the other day about the Green Line being drawn up in a newspaper in the 50s because it was an idea.
Well, wasn't the Green Line introduced by an army officer called Peter Young?
I'm not sure
Out
of
his
the
green
name.
pencil and drew a line.
Yeah, he grabbed the pencil in front of the map.
Yes, that is the thing. I don't know the name, but that's in the 50s. But when people see it now, they see it like, oh my God, it was always planned all along. But actually, that's not the case. The case is it was always civil unrest between two people, but whilst being under the rule of Britain, everyone, well, Turkish Cypriots definitely did, feel safer. They didn't like the idea of being under Greece, right? So the idea that there was always a sense of division, that is one thing that everyone must agree on. I'm not saying we're not the same people in terms of lineage on the island or culture or whatever. I'm not saying that, but there is a specific identifier that separates us to a degree. Now, given what's happened, and everything, it's all bloodshed, we know that. And I also understand what you're saying about, you shouldn't have proclaimed your own state, right? I understand that. But still, self-determination is a factor. If they hadn't have done that, or if they relinquish it today, there is no self-determination. It is just saying that you are with the ROC and you are in that seat. But after 50, it'd be even worse now.
I noticed, like, we've been doing this live.
Of course I can, because 50 years
You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that,
bro.
if it would be worse or not.
Of course it
How
would.
do you know would it be worse?
Well,
if
bro,
Turkey
look at
would
the
have
moves
made
they're
different
making now.
choices, okay, but then again, that's because of the fallout of what happened in 74. Had 74 been handled in a different way, then you wouldn't be saying that now, because potentially it could be a whole different...
But Alex, it couldn't have been handled in any other way. Because had Turkey stopped in Kyrenia, you have to remember one thing which we don't talk about in these lives. The Greeks weren't stopping in Famagusta. They were carrying on. So what did you want the Turkish army to do?
They were doing that that was retaliation.
No.
There's one thing we don't talk about on this live, like how Tier Sea was embargoed. Like Alex did mention, they didn't agree something in Geneva. What did they not agree? Security.
Mainly, that was the breaking factor.
And then what happened?
That was Franz Montana. It was not security.
I think you need to, what Alex is saying, you need to go to understand what he's saying. But I think you got it wrong as well, Alex, because on the 14th, when the coup happened with Samson, right, Greek coup, 5 days later, the Turkey intervened.
Yeah, which was the right thing to do.
Yeah, okay. And 5 days later, Turkey intervened, and it stopped from Kyrenia to Nicosia. They were holding a road, represented about 3% of the island. Most of the villages, like Lefke, Baf, Famagusta didn't fell, but a lot of the villages, they fell through. So they were all under Greek control. The Turkish Cypriots were only holding 3% of the land. Okay, and they went to discussion.
Ken, can I interject one sec? In between that time, was Greek Cypriots fighting Greek Cypriots also?
In between which time?
That time period that you just said.
Yeah,
it wasn't just Turk and Greek.
I'm talking
It was Greek on Greek as well. It was a civil war. The
No.
country was in turmoil.
It's the political differences.
Yes, exactly.
Different
Thank you,
schools of
whoever said
thought.
that.
Not after Turkey come onto island.
Of course they was, Ken. They were still unaliving each other. And then when Turkey came and phase 2 happened, is when they all grouped up and stuck together because they saw that there was a bigger threat to them. That's what I'm saying to you.
To be honest with you, there was no reason for Greek Cypriots to have an fight, because the Turkey, as soon as the Turkey landed on the
No, but
land,
people have different views, different political views. Not everyone supported Elka, for example.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that's
what
what
it's
I'm saying.
There were some Greek Cypriots
Do you
that were
know?
killed by
Do you
Elka.
know there's more Greek Cypriots that were unalived by Iorka than the
Fact.
whole war in
Well,
that,
AOK,
74.
AOK, A or B
that's before
or
15th
both.
of August.
Alex,
Yeah,
for AOK, A and B or just B.
B. I'm talking about B.
It's the same with A as well. A's campaign and there's I don't know what the name of the book is. Muzzi's got the book. It has the numbers of everyone that was unalived by AOK A. It talks about service members, so firefighters, things like that. Then it talks about military personnel, police officers, and then it breaks it down by civilians, Greeks, and Turks, right? And in every factor, year by year, sorry, in every category, they overwhelming, like it's so disproportionate the amount of Greek Cypriot they've killed versus anybody else. They killed more Greek Cypriot civilians than they did Turkish Cypriot civilians, than they did police officers, than they did military personnel, than they did any person within the public service. And again, the narrative
Yeah,
is that
it was a T group. They had a goal. Their goal was to get independence, and they didn't stop
no, but
at
the narrative
anything to achieve it.
The narrative is always that it was a guerrilla group, a freedom fighting group against the colonial power. But when you look at the numbers, they disproportionately killed more Greek Cypriot civilians than anybody else. And the key word there is disproportionate.
Look, a lot of Greek Cypriots from 1963 up until the coup, a lot of Greek Cypriots got killed by Iorka.
Yes,
Turkish Cypriots at that point were living in enclaves, and they were going for a torrid time. They couldn't buy building supplies. They couldn't buy anything. They were in a lot of hardship, and that again comes down to Makarios. He was a bad man, a very, very bad man. But it doesn't excuse the fact that there was a civil war.
In the return of that hardship, don't you think the Turkish Cypriots deserved what they got today?
No, because it's why the TRNC is not recognised and it's isolated.
Say another scenario. Had the Turkish Cypriots, had Turkey stopped Inginer, how many Turkish Cypriots would be on this island today?
From my opinion, what Turkey should have done was when they came for the peace operation on the 20th of July, they should have ended the coup. They should have tried to control the whole island, but as a guarantor power. So not come in for tit for tat or an eye for an eye. They should have come in, stopped all civil war between Greeks on Greek, Greek on Turk, got rid of the Iorka completely, then asked for a new government to be formed based on the atrocities of what Makarios
You can't get rid of Elka. Elka is an ideology.
Yeah, you
It's
can
an ideological
people.
movement.
They did
And it's
that.
still
They
very
did-
much alive. And we've
To the
seen that
se-
firsthand on this live.
Again, but that's separate because that's been fueled by the outcome of 74. Had it been quashed when Turkey was there as a guarantor power, you could argue and say they wouldn't exist today because it'd be a very different Cyprus. Most people that come on these lives and chat shit and chat very anti-Turkish is because they're frustrated of what happened in 74 and they don't know the history and they don't accept that they did wrong as well. Of course they did. Makarios did a lot of wrong. He did a lot of wrong from 63 all the way up to 74. Turkish Cypriots suffered because of that man, but also it was a civil war. Greek Cypriots were unaliving each other. It was a problem. The island was in chaos, basically. So in my opinion, if Turkey would have come in like they did on the 20th of July and got rid of Iorka and then asked for a new government to be formed, we might have a different story today, but we didn't.
They did ask for a new government to form, Alex.
I think Parab said they asked for implementation of Turkish Cypriot cantons by Turkish army. So isn't that new government or BBF? Cantons.
We're missing a point. We're missing a point. It had what Alex said. Had Turkey stopped at that point, yeah, and you have to remember, Iorka wasn't stopping. They were scattered all over their island, so they would have
Yeah,
just carried on doing what they're doing. So what did you want Turkey to do? Just stop and wait? How long was they
yeah.
going to wait until every Turkish Cypriot
They
was
could
massacred
have
off the
got
island?
at that point. They could
By
have got Britain involved.
They
They could have.
asked, Ejevit
by the
asked,
time
and
that
I
they
they
know.
would have
basically
been,
said no.
the job would have
I
been
know.
done.
Ejevit flew to England before coming
Yeah.
on the 20th of
So
July.
it is
and
futile
asked.
asking the UK for
Yeah,
assistance.
after. They could have asked after. So once the first phase was completed, which was quite successful because it effectively ended the coup, more or less, even though there was skirmishes of violence all over the island still, but not as bad.
Bruv, I think that's a bit far-fetched, mate. From time they've spilt blood, they've asked for 11 years for someone to interject and no one did, and then they go there and spill blood. They were never going anywhere. That's the problem here. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
That's the truth of it. And I know that we can look at the politics of it as to why that claiming that de facto state is a problem or whatever, or blah, blah, blah. When I see that flag, it identifies me. It is a self-identifier. It is
Fair
self-determination
enough.
in that sense.
Well, of
I do
course
not.
it would do. It would do
Yeah.
now. I get that. I get
No,
that.
but
Obviously, it's been a long time. It's all you've known.
but
It's
what
all
happens
you've
if it
grown up
stays
to
like
know.
this for 300 years?
Ali, no, but
What,
you know
what
what?
then?
what it is.
Well, I'm just
Again,
saying, if it
look,
stays at
Ed,
300 years, at what point do we just say, you know what, let the fucking North be, man? At what point?
That's why I separate the two. I agree. Like, on that side, I understand why you're saying that. Is because it's all you've ever known from your timeline. It's what you've known. The TRNC to be stat flag. But when I say I separate the two, is you got the 60s and 70s, and then you've got what you know and how my cousins feel and whatnot. Because they feel the same as you.
It's
That
before
flag
that.
represents them and
It's
whatnot.
before that. The Gnosis was put in started in the 1800s, bro.
Yeah.
And you have to remember another thing, Alex. Yeah, at that time,
All this
coming
idea.
coming back to 74, who was Turkey going to rely on to stop Aoka when they were Britain? We couldn't rely on anybody apart from ourselves.
And they were a guarantor country. That's the biggest stroke of it all. The UK was a guarantor country.
They
according
weren't.
to the
We weren't going to
treaty.
rely on. We
All
wasn't
they
going to
wanted
rely
was
on
their
Britain to
sovereign
stop that.
bases. That's all they wanted was their sovereign bases, mate. As long as
I
they
just
But let this be a lesson to Cypriots who want to drag in other, regional powers into the
sorry, what is that?
equation.
For who?
Let this be a lesson to people who,
Okay.
who are in favour of other regional powers getting sucked into the equation. Everyone has their own agenda.
look for
Yeah.
me. I get it. I get why Ed feels the way he does. I completely do because obviously that's all he's ever known. But the way I look at it from the
that's what we've
70s
all ever known.
perspective, I know. But then the way I look at it from the 60s and the build up to Turkey coming for the peace operation, is that no matter how bad, and I don't want to offend anyone here, no matter how bad the atrocities were towards Turkey's Cypriots, he still didn't give Turkey the right to do what they did. Because it's
No,
effectively put us in.
it did give them the right because we couldn't rely on anybody else to stop it, Alex.
No, but
That's the
Turkey
problem.
could have come like they did
Who was
the peace
Turkey going to rely
operation,
on? Rely on
safe.
Britain. They was going to say to England, "Can you stop Aoka from massacring all the Turks in Famagusta?
Yeah,
Can you stop?"
but
They weren't going to.
but
They weren't going to stop. They were just going to sit by and watch.
yeah, but Turkey could have done that for everyone on the island. Because, like we established
No,
earlier, between '63 and the 14th of July, a week before Turkey came, it was a civil war.
Why
Greeks
didn't
were
Greece come?
unaliving Greeks.
Why didn't Greece
They
come?
did come. They were the ones that did come with the coup. That's
Exactly
what
my
I'm saying to you.
point. That's my point. What you're saying, Alex, and you know I got respect for you, bro. But what you're saying is, and I get your terminology and you're a tactician in the way you're navigating. But one guarantor is trying to take the island. The other one only cares about sovereign bases, so they ain't got to get involved in any conflict, but still always internally have a right to be there. And the other one's trying to look to save people's lives. But somehow along the
I hear
way,
you.
yeah,
I hear
somehow
you.
along the way, Turkey are the bad guys. Now, all right, cool. I'll give Attila
They
being
wouldn't have been
aggressive.
the bad guys, though. They wouldn't have
I
been the bad
understand,
guys
but
had they
what's
had
the
done it
alternative?
correctly.
Yeah,
They
but
will
what
always
you're
be the bad guys because there's a lot of
The,
anti-Turkish rhetoric in the
so,
world.
so everything you
They
just
just need
said,
to breathe and people hate them.
everything you just said would have gone into Turkey's favour. Literally, everything you just said. So they would have literally said to the international community, We came in as a guarantor power. Guarantor power number one, Greece, initiated a coup to come to Cyprus and cause the turmoil. Guarantee number two, we went to them before we went to Cyprus, asked them to do a joint operation, but they refused. So they left us no option but to come to the island and carry out a peace operation. So when they would have got to the island, they would have controlled the whole island, eradicated the problem, and then restored the status quo and put Turkish Cypriots in a stronger
I
position
doubt they would have ever done that, though.
because Turkey was there militarily. At that point, the ROC's finished as a government. The country's in turmoil.
You're
There's no
saying Turkey should
system.
have took all of it to reinstate it all? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, temporarily
No, but
under
bro,
a
they only
guarantor
stopped on Attila B because they were getting
because
a
it's
wider pushback from the global community.
because no, they only got the pushback when phase 2 came in.
Yeah, but phase
That's
two
what
is effectively would look like, let's say they said, no, we're just trying to take the whole island so we can restore it to them again.
no.
I think Panop knows the second part.
Phase
Come on, explain
2,
it.
phase 2, because of the ultimatum in Geneva, it made it a phase 2, as in, fuck you, we're not going to deal with the Cyprus problem. We're no longer going to be a guarantor for the whole island. We're coming here, we're going to divide the island and safeguard the Turkish Cypriots, and that's it. It then went from being a guarantor for everyone to literally dividing it and having nothing more to do with the other side. Whereas, had there still been a guarantor for the whole island and got rid of the civil war that was triggered off by Yoka and looked after everyone, then they would have been in a stronger position to negotiate and be like,
But
look,
who was going to do that?
Turkey was going to do that.
Turkey was going to go around the island and
And you think there was going to be
hand
no
down all
protests against that from the Greek Cypriots?
No, because a lot of Greek Cypriots initially was happy that Turkey came. They were happy that Turkey came to stop what was going on in the island. You got to understand what happened
Where
in
did you
70.
get this information from?
What do you mean?
Where did you get this
It's
information
known.
from?
What? So the same people
No,
that
I'm
get
just asking, what's the foundation of your knowledge when you make that point?
on the internet, you can have a look at it. It's very heavily documented. Did you not admit earlier that Greeks were unaliving Greeks? So you don't think those people that have been unalived by those fractions of the terrorist
But the
organizations
ones
will
that were
not?
pro-Elka would have still continued to put up a fight. No way would
So
they
the-
have allowed
so the-
Turkey to take the
okay.
whole island. You know that.
Fair
You
enough.
know
So
this.
ones that who weren't pro-Yoka, you don't think they were going to be happy when they've come and quashed the coup? Of course, that's the basis for it. Of course, there was people that were happy that Turkey came. Turkey was praised heavily in July by the international community for coming to the island and doing what it did. It lost all of that in August. That's my point. They could have handled it differently. I'm not saying what Makarios did and what Ioka did to Turkish Cypriots wasn't bad. It was atrocious. It was terrible. But it could have been handled diplomatically.
Yeah, but you're looking at it, Alex, you're looking at it from the ultimate, altruistic point of view, humanistic, which, yeah, we'd love that. But I think I would take what happened over the alternative. The fact that, you know, people got separated, yeah, and kept people alive and keep peace on the island is a win for all, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that at least. I can't sit here because you're asking for that. No one's doing it. No one was doing it.
Again, it's two separate things. I'll get to that in a sec because I do agree with that ultimately.
I know what
'cause
you're saying.
obviously-
You're saying in the 80s, making that move, yeah, to declare a de facto state actually hindered their progression. I understand what you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
That's
Yes.
separate. No, that's separate. What I'm saying is, if I'm going back to 74, in August, had they not gone with phase 2 in the way that they went with it, and did it differently.
Alex, sorry to butt in, but when was the second move?
14th of August or 13th of August.
About 14th of August. You know, El Kabi was going around unaliving a lot of Turkish Cypriots.
Yeah, and that was in retaliation for obviously them coming. That's what I'm saying to you. So what they needed to
Do
do.
you know at the time we knew all this? It was a lot of people coming to Turkish side to Nicosia and we were asking Turkey to stop it, and it was before 14th of August. They've gone through 3 villages. The last one was I can't say the name because it's in Greek. They killed about 84 people. On the 14th of August, when Turkey started the second invasion or second movement, they killed about 84 people, buried them, half of them alive. It's nothing to do. It's nothing to do with what Greek Cypriot wants and how we've been having a discussion for a whole month, and they couldn't agree nothing. Greeks were doing 2 things. One, they were aliving all the Turkish villages. Second, they were bringing support from Greece. And when Turkey wake up to this fact, they moved for the second phase.
That's not true.
That is true,
It
brother.
is true.
No,
It might not be your truth, but it is true.
Right. Sorry, hang on. Greece was sending support to Cyprus?
Yeah, I think the Greek were playing for time. That's what Ecevit said. They're playing for time to prop up their military. That's what Ecevit said. Right? I heard him saying it.
Okay,
Right?
can I give you my perspective?
But if you look at EOKB, what they were doing just before 14th of August, then you realise why Turkey.
Ken, let's hear what Panop's got to say.
I was just going to say the bit I took issue with, Ken. The massacring, etc. I wasn't taking issue with that. Yeah, of course that happened. The time the second phase was launched. But in terms of reinforcements coming from Greece, you have to keep in mind that when Turkey launched the first phase, the Greek junta fell, and then Konstantinos Karamanlis, who was the exiled Greek president, came back from France. And he basically was in a situation where he didn't know how much of the army was still in support of the junta and whether he had the capabilities to even, put out a symbolic response. So he basically told Niridi, there's nothing more we can do. What happened has happened, and we're going to have to deal with the consequences after.
That was what happened on the Greek part, which Ecevit didn't know all that, right? Ecevit, when they were talking, when they had a meeting in London, he said that he thinks that the Greeks were trying to reinforce their military. Okay,
That wasn't the case then.
It may not be. I don't know. We weren't privy to Greek Cypriot information at the time, or Greece information. So, but what we knew, EOKP went on to Rampage, attacking and unaliving all the villages. We knew that for a fact. We see people coming in all the time. And most of the people in Nicosia are saying, why are we waiting? What are we waiting for?
That's true.
That's the second phase started.
Look, let me ask a question. Panop, I got bare respect for you, yeah, and your take on how things are. Do you agree or disagree that the Turkish Cypriots should have their right to self-determination and their own identity?
Yeah, but everybody's rights have got to be respected, and I can't agree to kind of displacement, and that's occurred on both sides, and that's why I don't want a continuation of the ROC. I want a BBF where there's reconciliation, there's truth commissions, and
I agree. I agree. But what I'm saying is, do you agree that if they hadn't have raised that banner and proclaimed self-determination through creating the TRNC, that effectively things could have just gone back to how they were?
No. No way.
Well, you reckon, Ken, that if they are you agreeing or disagreeing? I don't understand. Do you think it would have gone back to how it would have been with all the drama?
Not to 1960, no.
No, I don't think you would have gone back there.
1960 was off the table after 1974.
What's the contention here that the Greeks weren't building their military presence on the island prior to 74?
What's that? I can't hear you.
Is the contention that the Greeks weren't building up their military presence on the island prior to 74?
No, what I took issue with was that reinforcements were coming after the junta fell. There were no reinforcements after the first phase.
No, I'm saying prior to 74. Do you not agree that the Greeks from Greece were building up their military presence on the island?
There was friction between Athens and Nicosia, and what actually caused. Sorry, there's a lot of background.
Alex, mute up, bro. You got loads of traffic, bro.
I don't know if this is common knowledge, but essentially what triggered the coup was that Magario sent a letter telling the junta in Athens to round up all of the generals in Cyprus and get rid of them, and that's what caused.
Yeah, because he double-crossed them, because he promised them something and went back on it when he realised he was going to get excluded from control. He was told he wasn't going to be running Cyprus after the coup, so he panicked and then went against them eventually, and that's why they tried to unalive him.
So, do you realise that Turkey was going to come in 67, right? Are we all aware?
63, 64.
64.
No, and there's another one that says in 67. There's that
No,
book.
not 67.
Okay.
63, 64, Shine. It was Godchina, it was Erenko.
That was 64, Alex.
That's not what I'm talking about.
That was at 64.
It's not what I'm on about. Yeah. In that, there's a book called Two NATO Allies on the Brink of War, and it's written by the U.S. ambassador to Ankara. And in that book, he claimed, that Turkey was set on coming to Cyprus in 67. And I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And they had to negotiate with the Greeks to tell them to start removing the soldiers from the island. The conservative number is 9,000, and the estimated number goes as high as 20,000. So I don't know how anybody's sitting here denying that the Greeks were building military presence on the island that far exceeded the number allowed by the constitution.
Well, that's a well-known fact, but there was about 20,000 Greek soldiers on the island before 67.
Oh, there goes bedtime.
Yes,
Go bed.
The live's getting good there, you're closing at the wrong time.
Do you not want to after party or not?
Leave it on a cliff. We'll leave it on a cliffhanger. We'll carry it on.
I can start it, but I'm not starting it if everyone's just going to dip, bro. I'd rather do my own thing.
I'm about for a little bit, but not too long.
It's up to you, God. Let me know, innit?
All right, guys. Good night.
Good night.